NIL, bro. I wish I would have really tried a little more. I didn't know they was gonna be giving out bags. Not even to say that I would have got one, but like, what if you could have been like a manager, bro? You seen old boy, Amir Khan?
Amir Khan. Thank you for remembering his real name because I wasn't gonna say it.
You were gonna call him what, Mr. Aura?
Mr. Aura.
The fact that Under Armour flew that nigga out a jumpsuit for the tournament that said Aura on the back just for them niggas to lose.
Bro, I mean, that was the reason they lost. When I saw him in that jumpsuit pregame, throwing those little warm-up passes, I knew it was clip, bro. There's no way your team's winning. When everyone's focused on this Mr. Aura, that's a terrible look. I mean, that's terrible vibes going into.
You can't focus on no one on McNeese State. They had no one on that team that they needed to focus on. No disrespect to y'all, I'm sure you could hoop, but
I did not like that. I did not like that at all.
Why?
I think that maybe I'm getting older and maybe I'm finding things more corny as I get older. But that one I just couldn't handle. Normally I love the March Madness meme. You know, I think it's like funny.
Yeah.
It's a moment.
Yeah.
This one was just awful to me. And I think it's because Aura has like been played out so much. You know what I mean? Like I think Aura been played out. And so it feels like when the corporate page starts using the slang that was cool 6 months ago. Yes. You're like, oh my God.
Once big corporations started using Aura, it lost its aura, I guess. No pun intended.
It literally.
But I liked seeing just this little guy who was rapping NBA Youngboy lyrics or something.
He has some Kodak coming out.
Like his energy was right. Because it seemed like the team around him was really supporting it.
Yeah.
Like they were leaning into it because they know that they don't give a fuck about none of us.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna get any screen time, it'll be by getting as close to this nigga as possible.
Yeah.
So let's hype up Amir.
I mean, did you see the picture of him with all the chains on?
Yeah.
Whose chains were those?
The players.
No way.
Bro.
They are wearing those chains.
I don't think you understand.
McNeese players are getting NIL deals like that?
I mean, no disrespect. LMU niggas was getting chains.
It's crazy.
And we seen what they was on.
Because I guess you could hit the local media circuit and get a bag. You don't need like global recognition.
Being a college basketball player, being a college athlete now, that's a lie. Being a college basketball.
Good. Football skill position.
Or no, I think they all getting it. I've been seeing offensive linemen turn up recently.
All right.
Them niggas be wearing denim tears and chrome hearts like I ain't never seen before. I didn't know they make sizes that big. Once I saw Dave Blunt's in chrome hearts, I was like, yo, chrome hearts gets it. Oh. Everybody trying to get fly now.
Hey, that's good. That's body inclusivity.
I'll leave it at that. I'll support that. We all love that. Everyone deserves to be able to get fly.
Dave Blunt was on Bad Friends today, by the way.
What's Bad Friends?
Oh, Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino podcast.
They just bullied him, huh?
A little bit, but then I didn't actually watch the end of it. Dave Luntz was being really nice and made Bobby feel kind of bad. You know, Dave Luntz was talking about how he loves Pineapple Express and Bobby's cameo was his favorite part. And I think Bobby doesn't respond very well to kindness.
Positive,
yeah. Yeah. So he's a little frazzled. I haven't finished the episode, so we'll see where it ends. But
I had to work on that. I definitely was cut the same way. Because it's like when I'm ready to shoot, when I'm getting active, I'm thinking we're having a sparring match and a nigga just like completely disarms me like that. It's like, all right, well, I can't be mad at you, but like, fuck you for doing that.
Yeah.
Killed the vibe, even though I was trying to kill the vibe.
That's happened 2 weeks in a row to Bobby because last week he was talking big shit about Shane Gillis. And so Andrew calls Gillis and Bobby talks his shit. And then Andrew's just like, or Shane is like, you know, I love you. I think you're hilarious. You know, I hope the best for you.
But Shane knew. But see, Shane knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
Shane was like, you're not going to get me today. I'll be nice to you.
Shane is funny.
Bobby's ugly.
Yo, don't do that to Bobby.
I'm thinking because I can't remember the last time I saw Bobby Lee.
That was so crazy. Did you not come see him at the? You not come see the Bobby Lee show with us?
Bobby Lee's not a name that moves me. Is that a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think that's your scene at all.
Comedy?
That's specific. Well, yeah, I don't know.
I like funny people.
I would say Bobby Lee is more in the white comedy world.
I agree.
And I don't think that's your scene.
And I think he's just like, again, like when it's like, I know why you have to be as funny as you are.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
What do you mean I know why? Oh, you're saying because he's ugly?
Because you are ugly as fuck.
Yo.
You had, that's hate. That's hate.
So much hate.
Hey, my bad, man. I'm not the prettiest. Yeah, I'm prettier than you though. I could say that. No hate to Bobby Lee. Shout out.
Damn, you're not gonna intro right there. I felt it coming. Like if I would have said that,
but I had to apologize to Bobby.
Yeah.
What about Method of Television podcast?
What is good? Episode 132.
Back at y'all, man. With just two of us today. I'm Miles. That's Spencer.
Yup.
No say today. We miss our brother. No.
Oh my bad. Wrong button. I was trying to hit a different button.
Our good brother is traveling the world. He was in Atlanta for a little bit.
Yep.
Puerto Rico. If you watch this episode, Osei, I'll be surprised.
He's not watching this shit.
And I'll be happy.
He's not watching this shit. Miss you, Osei. But we had to throw it back to the old days, how this shit really started.
Literally, I was going to say, if you go back, you'll see a lot of episodes of me and Spencer wearing some crazy outfits, looking wild, talking some shit. Now we got a better studio. There's a painting behind us now.
Yeah, like better outfits a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes I go back. It's really hit or miss. I'll be like, yo, terrible outfit. Or I'll be like, whoa, I didn't know I used to put it on like that. Because I had no pieces, but I was trying.
I think we would stumble upon good fits.
For sure.
Back then.
25% of the time?
Yeah, because it was like thrift store vibes.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, oh, that flannel with that shirt, like I see where those pieces were going, but together that was a bad decision.
Yeah.
None of my hats fit right.
We were trying, we were putting up shots, and we lived in LA, and we were frequenting flea markets, seeing other people get fly. So of course you're gonna stumble into a couple.
I was gonna say, I know I've seen someone who looked cool wear something like this before.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't all the way get it. But it was an eventful week. We had to come at y'all a day later because we had an outside weekend. Not really an outside weekend, an outside day.
Oh yeah, my Sunday was extremely inside.
Yeah, and I'm realizing that at the tender age of 24, one day is all I could do.
One day is perfect.
We went out on Saturday night and I was cooked Sunday. Like I wasn't like super even like hungover. I was just like, I don't have the desire or energy to go anywhere or see anyone or do anything.
Dog,
today.
I did not get out of bed until around 4:30 p.m.
You're hilarious.
But I also, I was 5 a.m. smashing a Carl's Jr. burrito after the afters.
Yeah.
So like I was definitely up when the sun came up.
No, I know, that's crazy. The nights when the sun comes up and you're outside, that's when you really have to contemplate life. Those are the nights that I appreciate smoking weed a little bit.
Oh yeah.
That makes it feel a little bit more like a movie moment. Like, oh my God, young and outside, living life.
Yeah.
But like doing that and like just being like sobering up a little bit.
Yeah.
And just like, why the fuck am I here and it's bright outside? And it was a lot. I got home at 4.
Yeah, you did better than us. I remember we were at, just for a little context, Andre Power was DJing at this random warehouse.
I was gonna say, we were at a warehouse.
Random warehouse.
With a light in the sky.
And you had to like walk through like a little homeless encampment to like get into the front door. So it was I don't know.
And it was a weird amount of people, but a good amount of people for the space, I want to say.
It wasn't packed.
But I feel like that's good because at a place where there's DJs, especially that vibe of DJ, I feel like you want people to be able to dance.
Yeah.
And that was also other people's after move, but that was our first move.
Oh yeah, it was totally after. It started at 11.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, you need an after. I mean, I think that's people's biggest criticism with LA sometimes is like, there's no after. Everything closes at 2.
Why do you need an after?
Keep going, bro. Keep the party going.
I just partied.
I don't think your drugs are good enough.
I don't want better drugs. I think I got the best drugs that a human being should be having. Weed and alcohol is about as good as you got to get for me.
Yeah.
Like I was happy. I had a great time. Yeah. It was a vibe. But I was tired as shit.
You didn't seem tired when you were trying to barter with the liquor store worker.
Oh yeah. No,
Talk about, hey, can I get 20% knocked off on these Cutwaters? I don't know what the fuck you were thinking.
I was feeling good. I walked in the place because first of all, LA is one of those places again, like you said, like we walked through a homeless encampment.
Yeah.
If you go to was it downtown or Hollywood that we were in?
No, we were like between downtown and South Central.
Yeah, like you could stumble upon a vibe that's gonna put you in an interesting area in LA at any point. So when we got there and we were walking around, I realized this was the people that we were gonna be seeing that night. I was like, we're gonna have fun with this.
Yeah.
I'm chatting everyone, Once a store worker starts bantering back with me, okay,
yeah.
Why is there no cut waters in this box of cut waters that's in the freezer?
Homeless man, why are you upset about this water?
Yo, dog, I gave a nigga, bro. So you know what I mean? Because I'm feeling good, bro. When I get drunk, I get generous, and like I see a homeless man on the street. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? I love giving money to black homeless people.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? My brothers, you know what I mean? Make sure you're good. Make sure you're hydrated. And 90% of the time, it's always a positive encounter. Hit him with an OG, make him feel a little bit of respect. You know what I'm saying? God bless, all that shit. I'm gonna get you water. I go water, beef jerky.
Yeah.
Safe. You know, this is a protein, something that's gonna fill you up, and something to hydrate you.
Don't say beef jerky again.
Why?
We can circle back to it. Continue your story. Continue your story.
What is your history with beef jerky, brother?
Just continue your story.
You know, I thought it was a safe option. There's 2 homeless dudes. Give old boy one of them, you know what I mean? First of all, one of them was like, I don't want any food or water. I want a spray bottle so I can wash windows. And that was my perfect teach a man to fish he could eat forever.
Yeah.
I was like, you, sir, will get yourself a spray bottle. Because you're not going to be in this situation for much longer. I see you, entrepreneurial.
Definitely.
Other bum ass nigga next to him. Literal bum ass nigga now. I don't feel bad about saying it, bro. This nigga is like, I wasn't even talking to you, but I saw you coming out the corner, so I'm going to help you out, right?
Yeah.
Get this nigga the good alkaline smart water and the beef jerky. He looks me in my face like I just gave him like the worst lace blunt ever. Like some bad shit. Like I'm trying to kill this nigga.
Yeah.
He said, yo, I asked for fruit punch. Fuck nigga. Now I'm mad at you. Now we're beefing, bro. If you don't take this goddamn water, get the fuck out of my face, bro. I hate you. But
no, that's fair. That's fair. There's nothing quite as demoralizing as being rejected by a homeless person.
Oh my God. No, I've heard some stories because, you know, my roommate Christian, he goes to give a homeless, he was at In-N-Out, and he goes to get a homeless lady $5, and she clearly didn't want the $5. She wanted his In-N-Out burger. And she just started roasting this nigga, bro.
Yo.
She was just talking about this nigga's skin, saying, you look like you ain't put on lotion in years.
That's crazy.
Like crazy shit, going wild on this nigga.
And he had the cash out?
Huh? Yeah,
because the cash is normally
going to give you
you can go get a double for the $5.
Yeah, he said he hasn't given a homeless person money since.
That's hilarious.
That fucked him up a little bit. Homeless people in LA have an attitude.
Definitely. Maybe the only thing worse than being turned down by a homeless person is one time I was in Culver City and I didn't have my best outfit on. For sure. You know what I mean? I was just like, I don't know what I was doing, but it was not the best outfit. And I was just hanging out. I was waiting around for something. I think I was going to meet someone somewhere or something, you know, so I'm just hanging around. And somebody comes out of Air One and it's around closing time. And they're just like, hey, man, like, Kitchen was going to throw these away. You want them? And I'm like, do you think I'm like, yeah, come on.
I was going to say, but you took them shits for show.
Give me the bag.
Yeah, you took them shits
give me all that.
Show,
give me all
bro.
that. Give me all that.
I mean, but it was a good weekend. It was fun. We recovered. We hung out. We watched some March Madness. That's always fun. Shout out the women of March Madness. I feel like they might be taking over the sport a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna let you go.
The women's trip was more viewed than the men's last year.
Okay.
Cause I'm watching niggas like, bro. We saw, shout out your boys. We saw Gonzaga versus Houston.
Yeah.
Not one NBA player on the court. That was bad hoops for an hour and a half.
You know that about Houston?
Yes.
Just from watching, or you've like looked and seen if anyone's projected?
I know every NBA player in the tournament.
That's not true. That is not true.
I know confidently 90% of them.
Really? You think?
Yeah, bro. I love hoop, bro. Like
I know, but I feel like you don't be able on college like that.
But I also look at mock drafts.
Yeah.
There's no NBA niggas on Houston's roster. I'm so sorry.
Hey, that's just a tough, gritty team that plays defense and wants to win.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like a bad hour and a half of basketball because your niggas didn't have nothing either, bro.
Yeah, this wasn't our team.
But on the women's side, you know what I mean? Young Paige going crazy. Juju, I'm sorry. Prayers up to you. Definitely tore her ACL today.
That's terrible news.
It's Paige season. She's probably gonna win it though. But I like Notre Dame. You know what I mean? Olivia Miles. I'm not gonna bore y'all, but get up on the women's hoops. They really killing that shit. But
yeah, it is important to have stars in the sport.
You know,
if you're gonna pull viewers,
and there's more personalities, I think, in the women's game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if Duke goes to the chip, it'll outview whatever
the
women's do because people want to see Cooper Flag play. But besides that, I don't know if there's really that many names.
I was hating. He's like that.
Yeah,
preseason. Because I hear all the comparisons. Obviously, he's coming off USA basketball, all this shit. I'm thinking, all right, Great White Hope. Niggas love him. They want him to be the next Larry Bird. I get it. No way he's like that. That nigga is nice.
Yeah.
Crazy nice. And they got another nigga who looks like his like science class partner, another nerdy ass white boy, whatever, bro. Yeah. Killer. I can't even say it, Canopeful or whatever, bro.
Okay.
Gonna be a lottery pick. That he is a burner, bro. Like there's a couple players in the men's. I'm not gonna lie. It was good. But that was a fun weekend. I love March Madness. One of my favorite times of the year. I'm not the super biggest college basketball fan, but everyone taps in around March. That was the kind of interesting stuff over the weekend. The most interesting thing over the weekend was seeing everyone buying bottled water, bananas, and ice cubes.
Got to get right first thing.
So if you guys don't know, there's he's got to be about 300 pounds, just jacked nigga.
Oh, yeah.
That was going around on social media. His name is Ashton Hall. First of all, the name like Ashton, you have to be doing everything that you can, that we're going to explain. You can't be that surprised. Me and the homies, right? We are a little group chat. Me saw Jeff.
Yeah.
And I see this on Twitter and I instantly send it to them.
Yeah.
And it's his morning routine. And forget all the craziness that's about to transpire. The wildest part of it was 4 a.m. wake up time.
That is absolutely not the wildest thing.
4 a.m. No, but the absurdity starts at 4 a.m. How are you waking up who wakes up at 4?
A lot of people.
No.
A lot of people do.
No.
A lot of people
do. If you don't have a job to go to, why are you waking up at 4?
Oh, no, because now you're touching on the absurdity. The absurd part is waking up at 4 a.m. and not doing a thing for hours.
Bro.
I know, like if you listen to like a lot of like CEOs talk or people that are very successful, they'll go to the gym at 4 because the only time they have with their kids before going to the work day is between like 6 and 7. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get your workout, got to get your reading in. But this man was doing none of that.
Bro, well, so he starts off his day by ripping off the mouth tape.
Of course.
Because that's what you have to do, you know what I mean? Promoting a nasal breathing, I guess, in your sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
And he proceeds to then go outside and do push-ups, right? That was the second step.
No, I think it's the first bowl of water at that point.
Oh, he iced
off the wake up.
Yeah. No.
I think he had about 4 or 5 ice
he did it multiple times. Yeah. The most iconic thing that everyone's latched on to is him getting a bowl of ice, pouring this very expensive water in it, and then dunking his face in it.
Oh, it's better when the girl brings him the waters.
Yes.
And like pours for him.
Yes.
Like, yo, how do you have an assistant, bro?
So I've only seen that in American Psycho. That's what Patrick Bateman does. Exactly.
Well, I have done that.
Oh.
I can't lie. I have done that.
Why?
Because I'm a believer in the ice bath. And so like sometimes when I'm home and I have access to a bathtub, I would rip ice baths when I woke up in the morning. Because I think it's
fine.
But when you don't have a bath.
Dunking your face in ice water?
You never saw the bucket in the fridge that I would prepare the morning, the night before? There was a little phase at the old house when there would be a bowl of water.
And you would dunk your face
first thing in the morning. Yeah, just like stimulate, get the same effects as an ice bath.
Oh. So you're weird too.
For sure. For sure.
Well, because I've heard that it's supposed to be good for inflammation. Mm-hmm. So like when niggas want to be baddies, they'll dunk their face in the ice water and do all the shit.
You say that like it's a bad thing, and like you don't.
Like I don't want to be a baddie. I don't think I aspire to be a baddie.
Really?
Not in terms of looks. In terms of attitude, maybe sometimes.
Okay.
I want to.
So what do you aspire to in terms of looks?
Well kept. I just like to look clean.
Okay.
I think that's the main thing for me. You know, I
just
think
not sexy.
I think if you're a man, you get what you get.
That's
like
just
girls,
not true.
Like girls could do makeup. The best thing we have, the closest thing we have to makeup is a haircut.
Yeah, I mean, haircuts. We have a lot of shit that we can do. There's a lot you can do, and it starts like an early morning ice dunk.
Once I'm not pro. I'm gonna be sounding. I'm gonna sound bad. Should I be primitive today?
Yeah.
Like if you a nigga, I don't think you should do a face mask.
Boo.
Unless a girl is there with you. Like if you're doing it like with your girl, cool. I'm not judging you. But being a dolo nigga putting on a face mask is crazy to me.
What if you're alone? What if nobody sees it?
You have to no. Don't do that. Don't make those decisions.
What is inherently wrong with a face mask?
Just wash your face.
But that does extra stuff.
We're niggas, bro. I'm sorry. This is primitive.
How many steps is your face care routine?
See, I'm gonna get killed. They're gonna kill me for this shit.
For sure.
No, fuck that.
You're lucky we're not in 4K. You're lucky we're not in 4K.
What's my morning routine? I want to get our morning routines.
Okay. I'm
big on. Oh, see, I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
I don't want to share all of this.
No. Let me get your morning routine.
I don't like sunlight in the morning. I don't like bright lights in the morning. I hate the mornings. I despise mornings.
Yeah.
I'm wake up, no lights are going on. Mm-hmm. Like to the bathroom, lights off, everything in the dark. I'm not doing nothing. The only thing that'll be on is like the glow of my phone. And I'm not scrolling yet. Like I'm just like, yeah, I just got to get a light to get to the bathroom, and I can't turn on any lights.
Already a terrible start.
Yeah, bad. I think my morning routine is the worst one can have. It is not healthy. It's not good at all. Instant shower, instantly.
I think that's a good strategy. Just wake up,
instantaneous shower.
Yeah.
Well, no, after I've snoozed the alarm a couple times.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Snooze the alarm a couple times. Get up, go piss, instant shower, brush teeth, wash face. My face washing is just. Put the face wash on your face, wash your face.
Okay.
Do that twice, you know.
Oh, twice? A double wash. All right.
Yeah.
Do you wash with your hands or like with a rag or what?
My hands.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
I do the same.
Right?
I've heard that it's wrong, but I do the same.
Because I just showered though. So
remember Cat Williams told us it was wrong.
Oh, what'd he say?
Cat Williams said you need a towel. You need 2 towels. But he wasn't telling you. He was telling white people. So you didn't have to listen.
But it's
one towel for your face, 1 towel for your ass.
Well, when you're in the fucking shower, I don't wash my face in the shower.
Oh, you don't?
That's weird.
Why?
Niggas do that. And I just have never been cut like that. But I've seen people do that. My old roommate used to do that.
It's so much easier. And what's the difference?
How much? It's not the fact that it's like, I don't think it's bad. It's just like, why do you need
It's way easier.
Do that?
Because then I can get the soap. If the soap gets in my hair, I can really get in there. And if the soap gets wherever, it gets wherever.
Why would you want the soap in your hair?
Well, I'm not trying to, but if I'm scrubbing really tight in the T-zone, which is the most important part to wash, you know what I'm talking about? It might get in my hair a little bit. Might get in my eyebrows. And also, like when you rinse in the sink, you do like like you cup the water and you like splash into your face.
Yeah.
That's the worst experience in the world doing that. I hate that feeling.
I love it. Yeah. Wash the face, lotion, lotion on the body, the cologne, get dressed, leave out the door with a frown on my face. That's me.
That's not a great routine.
I was going to say that, but I think that's expected. I think if you know me and if you see me walk in the office, you'd be like, this is probably what he did before he came here. No water. Water.
The frown is still on your face when you enter the office?
Yeah.
Or during the drive, do you find hope?
50-50.
Yeah.
50-50.
Depending on the playlist?
Oh, Adderall.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Don't forget it. Very important.
For sure. That might brighten my day a little bit. Yeah, the playlist will get me a little bit. It's normally, I don't even know if it's a frown. It's more like crippling anxiety.
Yeah.
Before walking in. But yeah, I don't normally become like a serviceable person until I get the coffee after I've been at work, sat at my desk. That first like halfway down the coffee, I'm like, okay, there is joy in the world.
See, I hate the idea of having to talk to someone before I'm like fully ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my girlfriend, she sets her alarm and wakes up. Like, I think she gives herself 10 minutes before she has to be out the door.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me.
But so she showers at night then?
Yeah.
I couldn't do, I've never been cut like that.
Yeah.
I need a shower in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't do
I need ample time. So mine is probably, well, also this is the routine coming from, a struggling hip hop content creator, aka a Uber Eats driver, aka just vastly unemployed. But anyway, I'm up probably around. Well, I have 2 alarms. It goes off at 7.
Yeah,
and I stand up. Alarm clock's on the other side of the room. Turn it off. Get back in bed. Vivid dreams for an hour. Vivid dreams. That's when I get my most vivid, crazy dreams.
You're lucid dreaming.
Yeah. And then at 8, I the alarm goes off, so I get up again, turn it off. instantly big thing of water outside.
I hate Spencer's alarm.
Instantly, yeah, you remember that shit. You remember that shit.
Oh,
because it's not on my phone. So if I go somewhere else for the night, the whole house is hearing that. Yeah, and it's hard to turn off too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I unplugged it a lot.
Do you miss living with me?
I think us not living together made me, and I tell Selena this all the time. I was like, Spencer is one of my best friends. And I'm so happy we don't live together. Because now I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm glad we don't live together.
That's so heartwarming. I feel the same way.
Fuck living with this nigga.
Wow, no, when y'all were talking about the dishes the other day, I couldn't even wipe the grin off my face. Yeah. Just so happy that I wasn't in that situation.
Exactly. You know what, bro?
But we had a good run. But anyway, 8 a.m., cup of water. I'm outside. I'm walking for 15 minutes, staring at the sun as much as possible. Because it's like, you should get some light off the wake up.
No sunglasses on?
No sunglasses, no.
Just staring at the sun.
I actively stare at the sun for 2 seconds, look down, stare at the sun.
Why?
Early morning retina viewing, light viewing, it's good for you. It's really good for you.
You're gonna go blind.
And then after I do a little 15 minutes of walking, I come back in, turn the coffee machine on, go take a shower. When I'm done with the shower, I pour my cup of coffee, sit on the couch, I'll probably read my book for 30 minutes, probably journal for another 30 minutes. Now it's like 9:30.
So you're kind of like Ashton though.
A little bit, but
he's hit most of these things.
But just like later in the day.
I was gonna say just like not
just like worse, honestly.
Not as uncomfortably swole, but
just not swole at all.
Because he does the push-ups in the morning too.
See, maybe I'm missing key steps. And also maybe if I just moved it up a couple hours earlier, it would trigger some things in my mind that would help me get more like him. Because clearly if he has an assistant bringing him the $10 bottles of water,
and cutting his fruit for him.
Bro. I'm not even in no position to hate on this guy, if I'm being completely honest. I kind of respect it.
Did you see him? He squeezed. So I'm not going to lie. I deep dived. I went on his Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts.
Of course you did.
Because I was like, what are the comments saying? Because I know we're all making fun of him. He has 8.8 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah, there it is.
What are they thinking that they followed him? Comments are overwhelmingly positive.
Really?
Love this nigga, supporting this nigga. But so I'm on his page and I see one time before he dunks his face, he puts lemons and salt.
Oh no.
In the water.
Oh.
I'm like, that would be, my face would be on fire.
Yeah, don't open your eyes.
I'd cry, bro.
Yeah.
And then he gets out and when he does his morning runs, he doesn't wear a sock. He doesn't wear socks, bro.
That's insane.
So just imagine the ASMR routine. If you guys, I'm sure everyone has seen the video. It's the most viewed video on Twitter. But what sent me crying was like, it's all just ASMR, like no real talking, just like noises of him like opening a door. Like, oots, as he's doing the push-ups or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then right as he goes down his elevator and goes to the gym with no socks on, you just insta cut to the hardest running you've ever heard.
Yeah.
This nigga is pounding the fucking treadmill.
Whoa. Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Imagine looking to your left, you're like morning workout, like you didn't want to be there, like you just got up, and you look to your left and there's this fucking gorilla next to you. Just fucking, I can say that.
Yeah, you can.
Just fucking running hard as shit for no reason at 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
That was.
I hate guys like him at the gym or just in the neighborhood or literally anywhere I encounter like a unnaturally fit person that just makes it a point for everyone to know exactly how unnaturally fit they are.
That's what I'm saying though. It's like, who are you doing this for?
Yeah. 8.8 million people, I guess. I bet he sold a lot of mouth tape. I cannot lie to you. I bet he sold a shit ton of mouth tape.
Bro. And then I'm like, what is your profession? What are you selling? Because then he's like, yo, I'm not going to lie. You know, everyone loves I think we go get like 10,000. You know what I mean? He gets on his little Zoom call talking about shit. He's an online fitness coach and is teaching people. I don't even know if he's teaching people at this point how to get fit. He's teaching people how to make content about being an online. That's what his bag is. You know what I mean?
Buy my ebook.
Like, I don't know. But yeah, that was Twitter's latest thing. It really made me reevaluate what I do in the mornings now. I think I just gotta turn the lights on. I think that's gonna be my first change.
No, the best thing I got from it was that water brand. Because you know that's some premium shit.
Nah.
And we were having our whole water conversation.
Nah.
Well, you've had that water?
Nah, no. I'm just like, because I saw him hating on, he hated on my water.
What water do you like?
Mountain Valley spring water, bro.
Yeah, that's not like...
That's the best water.
It's decent
That's
water.
the best water.
I like
I'll
that water.
stand on it. You know that's the best water.
It's good water. It's not the
That's
best water.
water.
It's not the best water.
I wouldn't even talk about it. But then also, like, people have been fucking up because I see everyone buying the sparkling version of his water.
Oh.
And I'm like, dunking your face in sparkling water has got to be crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not good for you.
Really? You think so?
Probably not.
I feel like it's got to, like, attack the germs on your face.
I can kind of see. It's like the Mr. Clean commercial.
You
know, with the scrubbing bubbles where you let it sit for like 4 hours and you just watch it eat the dirt?
Are we going to do it? We should do a whole morning routine like him.
Film one like him?
We have to.
We both could do it?
Yes. We have to. Well, no.
Tomorrow?
Me, you, and Osei, because I think Osei will really do it.
Oh, we need Osei.
Osei
would be the closest thing we could get to him.
Yes. I wonder what Osei's morning routine is.
All I know is whatever it is, it's not going to be what goes into that video. And that video is going to be awesome.
That's going to be excellent. But yeah, shout out him. He will he'll continue to go viral. Did he win?
Win what?
Did it work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8.8.
I think everything. Well, no, he was up before this.
Yeah. I think he definitely won.
I think everything. He literally the goal of this. Everything transpired in his favor.
Yeah.
So maybe we really can't hate. Shout out to him. Start posting your morning routines. Besides that, the only other thing I really accomplished over the weekend was finishing Severance.
Yeah, me too.
Which is, I can confidently say, the best show I've seen in a long, long time.
I'd agree.
Also, I don't know if I've argued with my girlfriend more than watching the last couple episodes of this show.
Yeah.
So, spoilers ahead if you haven't seen it. We'll
Yeah.
have the timestamps. Just skip ahead to the next shit because we're going all the way in. I think that me and you are going to be on opposite sides of the fence.
Of what you and your girlfriend argued about?
Of a lot of things about this show.
Okay.
I just don't see us agreeing, but I'm interested. So if you haven't watched Severance, or you know the gist of everything, you know what I mean? The show started, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, I think like 3 years ago.
Yeah, Ben Stiller is executive producer, and I think he doesn't direct it, though.
He does.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is a show where you don't really know anything. It just kind of like progressively, episode by episode, peels back another layer.
Yeah.
And they're really only giving you just like everything bit by bit to like, I still feel like we don't even know the full scope of everything.
Oh, definitely not. Because that's where my debate post season finale came in.
Yeah.
Is what we're really doing here.
Exactly.
I'll just do a quick rundown in case you haven't watched Severance, but you're interested in knowing what it's about. If you haven't watched it and you're not, I guess... You're not going to watch it if you're...
Yeah.
Because I'm going to spoil the shit out of it. But basically, it's a dystopian, maybe separate world, maybe our world. There's a lot of things that make us think that maybe it's a slightly parallel universe. But it's this dystopian thing where there's a company called Lumen that operates on people and provides this procedure called severance, where you can basically separate your work self from your personal self. So as soon as you enter any of these areas that are coded with your severance chip that's put in your head, you switch. And so your innie, which is the person at work, doesn't have any of the experiences of your outie, and your outie doesn't have any of the innie. As soon as you go to work, if you're the outie, as soon as you enter that elevator to go to work, boom, it's 5 o'clock, you're leaving work. You never have to experience it. They hint about how people are also starting to use it for childbirth, so mothers don't have to experience labor. But basically, we're seeing...
Is it a dystopian world, though?
Yeah, when you have a company as big as Lumen and they live in a...
That doesn't feel dystopian to me. Everything about the world seems pretty on par with where we are now. I didn't think anything was that weird. Like, obviously, Lumen's a terrible company, but I think there's probably a lot of really evil companies. You know, I think it's exaggerated, obviously, for like television and shit like that. But like, other than that, like, and what's going on within the building...
Well, just because it resembles where we're going doesn't mean it's not dystopian. There are a lot of things that if we go down this path, we will be living in a dystopian society. You know what I mean? And I think when you have a company and a major issue within a country and a world, because they said Lumen is global, is debating whether to separate your consciousness and insert a technology microchip in your head, that feels dystopian to me.
What's Neuralink?
Yeah. If we push down that way, we're gonna,
Which is very interesting. They definitely like... Ooh, are they shooting at Elon?
There's a lot that you could pull from this. I still don't fully know. But basically, we're 2 seasons in.
Yeah.
The season finale to season 2 was the best episode of anything I've ever watched. To be completely honest, that to me was like a movie. It was everything that made Severance great. It was hilarious. There are really, really funny moments. We get more about Lumen and about the lore to the world, which is the most interesting thing to me. Yeah. We get great moments from our main characters.
Milchek.
Yeah, Milchek with the full HBCU marching band, bro.
That shit had me crying.
So funny.
When that nigga started doing the shoulder work,
yeah,
I was like, oh no, they're going for it.
Because they probably knew how crazy I forget the word to describe the jazz.
Ceremony of merriment?
No. It was that was funny. But I just mean in season 1 when they got the jazz party.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
And then this season when everything's really caught, like my whole TikTok feed is Severance montages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think they've realized how big that moment was and doubled down.
Yes.
And it worked. Please give Mr. Milchek every award.
I was gonna say,
could give a supporting actor.
The actor bodied that shit. I wish I gotta know your name. I gotta know your name. But it was funny, and that was the Ben Stiller of it all. Because I think Ben Stiller has always been able to kind of toe that line as an actor of like, he could be really serious and bring those kind of like very heavy, like heartfelt moments into even comedy roles and comedy movies. He's a really, really good actor. Yeah. And I think that this show is obviously very heady, throwing a lot at you, and it's aware of that. And I like how it doesn't make the viewer feel stupid. Yeah. Like it doesn't treat the viewer like it's stupid. Because I think a lot of viewers are stupid based off a lot of the commentary I saw online. Yeah. But he found a way to make it funny when we needed it. Just for a second, like it could be lighthearted. It's almost like a cleanse for a second before we get back into the shit.
Yeah, and just having a set like Lumen, I think allows the show to be so stunning because they do a great job scouting, and I love the location where the province of Kier is, where all of this is taking place. It's this kind of like frigid, like almost Arctic vibe. Not Arctic, not all the way. It's like, it reminds me of somewhere like in Canada with like big wilderness, icebergs in the water.
Oh, the actual place? Yes.
But I was thinking about it because I was worried that Mark S was going to leave Lumen at the moment where obviously Gemma is outside the door and Helly appears behind him in the hallway, and he has to choose whether to leave with his Audie's wife or stay with this new love affair who is Helly, who is really Helena Egan.
Are we gonna get into that shit?
We can get into that, but I just want to say that like I was worried when he was gonna leave that season 3 was not going to be able to be taking place in Lumen. And I think the aesthetics of Lumen allow that show to be as eerie and uncomfortable, but also visually just captivating as it is.
Well, I also think that it makes it so relatable. I don't think there's anything more relatable than having something in an office environment. If you look at even like the show like The Office, I think that's why it was as big as it was. It's like everyone gets this. Yeah. Everyone's seen this. No matter where you work, no matter what your job is, no matter if you've been in whatever level of employment you have, you've seen this view. Yeah. These cubicles, the computer, you understand that. Mm-hmm. And I think it does make everybody be like, what would I do? Because nobody likes work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like everyone has that kind of hang up. So it is very like, it brings everyone into that kind of just baseline level debate of like, would I want to turn my brain off for 8 hours and just get this shit out the way? And what are the ramifications of that? Yeah. Which is dope. Getting into the real thing that caused the debate. Mm-hmm. So Mark Scout. So Mark Scout is the person, the guy who loses his wife in a car accident and falls into a very deep depression and makes the decision to get severed because he literally can't deal with this pain. Mm-hmm. And is like, I hate every moment of my life that she's not here, Gemma. So if I could just get relief from this for 8 hours, beautiful. Yeah. You know what I mean? I could sleep for 8 hours. Like, you know, I'm just trying to not think about this girl that is gone. Mm-hmm. And he becomes Mark S., who is now his innie, like you said, who has no recollection of any of this. And he meets work wife. Yeah. Home bitch. I feel you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, this is age-old story that everyone, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like,
also the only woman that his innie has ever seen besides Miss Cobell and Miss Huang.
I mean, I think every guy knows this. It's like when you think a teacher at your like high school is attractive. I don't know if you ever had that.
Yeah.
But it's like you're not attractive, but there's no one else here to look at.
Yeah.
And I'm a 16-year-old kid and horny, you know? That is what is happening with Mark and Helly, initially, at least. And just most people, you know, to me. And the debate at the end of the season, or the conflict at the end of the season, is when Mark Scout is trying to find his wife. That's his motivation. That's what keeps him going. That's what almost seems to give him new life. Because he thought for all these years that his wife was dead.
Yeah.
And then any Mark is the one who actually wakes everybody up to the fact that no, your wife is alive and at Lumen. So now the whole mission of season 2 is finding his wife.
Yeah.
And that's what this nigga like kind of wakes up a little bit. I ain't seen Mark Scout drink once in season 2.
Yeah, me
neither. And you notice he was drinking all season 1.
Yeah.
And then but any Mark, fucking Helly.
Yeah.
They end up having sex, they kiss. That's it though.
Yeah.
And
well, he fucks Helena, then he fucks Helly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna give him that one.
Yeah.
He fucked a girl that he was in love with once, and he gave her a kiss.
But he didn't know.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. And so the way that it works is, like Spencer said, when you enter the building, you're an outie.
Yeah.
You get to the severed floor, you're your innie, and then there's a third level.
Yeah.
Where his wife is being held that people don't know about. So when Mark goes from the severed floor down to go get his wife, he becomes his outie self. Sees his wife, they reunite, they have a beautiful moment, Then while they're escaping, they have to go back up to the severed floor. They go back up to the severed floor. His wife has her memories back, understands that this is her husband. Mark is now Mark S, the any Mark.
Well, she only understands that because he pushes her out the door.
Yes.
Because she's Miss Casey on the severed floor.
Yeah.
But then he pushes her out the door, and then she becomes outie Gemma and is like, oh, Mark, come on.
Yeah. But even when she was Miss Casey, she was following him.
Yeah.
Grabbed the hand, was with it.
Yeah.
You know? No, because even on the downstairs, because it was just that room where she was Miss Casey.
No, it was the whole severed floor. The whole severed floor.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're 100% right. You're 1,000% right.
But it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
What you're saying is correct.
Yes. And so Mark, who is now, the whole debate with Mark is that he doesn't necessarily know if he wants to save the Audie's wife, because he feels like if they expose everything about Lumen, then these innies just die.
Oh yeah, and also like even if they don't expose everything, if he walks out that door, he knows damn well that Mark Scout has his wife back. And what incentive would he ever have to come back to Lumen, the company that stole his wife and faked her death for 3 years and experimented on her and split her consciousness into 30 pieces?
Yes.
Like I think Mark's S is safe to assume that if I walk out this door, what I know to be myself is over forever and I die.
Yes.
You know, so and also it's like, okay, do I do that for this person that made this choice for me to be severed that I don't even really relate to and go for this woman that I don't love? Or boom, behind me, Helly's there, you know, tempting him. And like, I think I love this woman, you know? So I think this Severance has done a great job at always like handling this situation like how it would actually be handled. You know what I mean? I think it's realistic, and I think that is the only way that outcome works. Because if you're Mark S, what incentive do you have to walk out the door?
Because most people are selfish. That's what I think. I think that, one, to me, I hate the idea that people are pushing that these are two separate people.
Okay, why?
It's one person.
Why?
It is one single person. And I think that some of the plot holes or some of the holes that people are like trying to come up with when they're justifying what he did, it's like, remember when they were begging to leave and they were having these conversations, like their Audi was the one that would give them permission. Mm-hmm. They would have to ask permission of their Audi to leave. And they were all cool with that because they're like, this is me. And when they were talking about it, they'd be like, look what they're doing to us. Mm-hmm. We are one person. We are the same person. When I get hurt at Lumen, I'm hurt outside. Mm-hmm. That in of itself is like, we are the same. We're one and the same.
But it's different consciousnesses.
Yes, different consciousnesses. Not disagreeing there. But one person.
one body,
one person.
Yeah.
One human being.
Mark
Scout, same person.
No, because they don't have any of the same memories, any of the same emotions.
Mark S doesn't have a significant amount of memories. Mark S should shut the fuck up. Mark S doesn't
just die.
Mark S should shut the fuck up and die. Because he doesn't die. He still gets to live. He just doesn't remember.
He doesn't get to live. No.
It's like having amnesia. It's like having amnesia and forgetting. But he's not dying.
What do you mean forgetting?
He's just gonna forget 8 hours of the last 2 years. Or you know what I mean? Like the last 2 years of work. He's just gonna forget.
Mark Scout,
if he gets out of here, just forgets the last 2 years of his work.
And Mark S becomes nothing.
Mark S was never a thing.
Mark S was a thing. Mark S lived on the 7th floor and had experiences and fell in love and had friends and did work and talked to people. Mark S was very much a thing.
And that's why we're getting like deep. When he's talking to home bitch Ragabi, who is trying to reintegrate him.
Yeah.
She was like, you still carry these things with you when you go down there, even if you're forgetting about it and you can't remember. That pain that you still feel, even if you can't identify where it's from, is still within you. And you see that especially with Irving and his fucking hallucinations and all this shit. Like, they're not really completely two separate things.
Well, what do you mean his hallucinations?
With the black shit.
Well, that was induced by his Audi. You know, those weren't like, he wasn't having those hallucinations because he was like work deprived. He was like his Audi was intentionally staying up all night and continuously painting that door in hopes that his innie would fall asleep and have this vision.
How? How do you know that?
What do you mean?
I don't think Irving knew what he was painting.
You don't think?
No. He didn't know anything about Lumen.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
At all. He was just painting something because he was a fucking crazy person. And because he knew that was in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Because it's the same fucking person. They're not
different people.
You know it's not true. You're hung up on a point.
Same person, different
You're hung up on a point. But regardless, I think that, so basically, we get to the point where Mark S pushes Gemma out the door. Gemma realizes that Mark, her husband, is still alive, that she's okay, that they can escape, and is telling Mark, come with me, because she can't open the door from the outside to grab him. So Mark now has to make the decision to either push this door open, walk out, become Mark Scout, and leave everything behind at Lumen, or go with Helly and figure that out. And this is now my decision. And I was mad and upset because I'm like, that is the most incredibly selfish thing that someone could do. And for Mark S to act like he doesn't understand why Mark Scout wants to do this is crazy.
But see, you even saying that Mark S has the capabilities of being selfish is acknowledging that Mark S has a self. You know what I mean? That is separate from Mark Scout. I
think selfishness is just a short-term feeling for what I want in the moment and what benefits me. And I see what you're saying, but it's like,
if it really was one person, then the selfish move would be to walk out.
The selfless move would be to walk out.
The selfish move. Your life is better. Your life is better if you exit. If we're under your interpretation, this is one person.
Yes.
Then Mark S had that long conversation with Mark Scout where they were passing the camcorder back and forth. So you know that your life is improved. You know that there's nothing to run to with Helly.
He didn't say that. Mark S didn't retain anything because I think that was the one thing that Mark Scout fucked up with because he didn't explain it well.
Well, Mark S knows that there's nothing to run to. He's killed people and that like he is literally running to Mr. Milchek and Lumen. There's nowhere to go inside of the building. So if you want to talk
fucking idiot,
if you want to talk about being selfish under the impression that it's one person, it would have been to walk out the door. But you acknowledging
how
the
is
selfish
that selfish?
move,
how is that selfish?
If it's one person,
yes. How
you're doing the best for you, which is leaving this building where there's imminent danger. But if we're gonna, if we're gonna talk about it as two separate people, then yes, he was selfish, and people act selfishly inherently, and that's why I think this was realistic. And
but that was a bad person thing to do. I think a bad person would do that,
bro. It was a stupid thing.
A bad person would do that, though, bro. Like you can't Because what you're feeling right now, to say that your love for Helly is more valid than his love for Jimmo just had me pissed.
Yeah, and outside of that, we'll also, yeah, I get that, but and like knowing that Lumen is probably doing terrible things. You know what I mean? It definitely was a stupid, bad move to make.
Idiot.
I agree.
Idiot.
But I think it's realistic, and that's why I love it. And I also love that we get to see what happens on the severed floor in season 3. I didn't want the series to fully evolve outside of Lumen walls.
I mean, what's going to even happen? I just don't like, I think it's going to be a great show just because I don't even know what's going to happen next. Like, I couldn't even tell you what the storyline's about to be because you see that the Dons that are controlling everything seem to be pissed off that all their whole plan just went to shit.
Yeah.
So who knows what's next or what's going to happen, but yeah, I don't know. I just hate dumb decisions in a show where it's like nothing about this is smart except to just elongate the show and make it more interesting. Like that was just a move made for TV.
It was a realistic move. It's what would probably happen.
I disagree.
I think that's probably what happens with most people.
I agree. I do think that. I do think that. But it's a bad person move.
And you say it all the time that everyone's bad. That
Everyone
you think most people are bad.
You know, and I think that's what really pissed me off. It's like, come on. Be a bigger person and now let's get creative. What are we going to do about this?
Yeah.
Like now let's build.
I think this is a better direction for the show to go in.
It is 100%. It is 1,000%.
And I'm excited and I love thinking about what they're really doing because my favorite part of the episode was getting Cobell to talk to Mark Scout directly about what data refinement is and how Kier's 4 tempers play into all of this and how when you're separating these emotions, you're basically separating this person that you know so closely. You know what I mean? Into all these different versions of consciousness and you're building this version of this person who can withstand her greatest fears. Like if you notice, all the 30 rooms are all things that she's terrified of. And the last one was a miscarriage. Mm-hmm. And before Mark S came in, or Mark Scout at that point came in, she was having like the Don that was controlling it was like, oh, she feels nothing. This is incredible. So I'm interested to see what successfully splitting someone this much is working towards. I've talked to a couple people that really think they're working on a way to reincarnate consciousness and work back on Kier's bloodline to work all the way back to reincarnate him.
Yeah.
There's still holes in that one for me. I don't see it all the way, but you can really like it's just absolutely boundless of the possibilities you can go from with this concept.
Yeah.
Which is why it's such a good show.
I wonder where they're gonna jump back in.
Yeah, me too. The things they're able to do with this concept.
Yeah.
Like I'm just thinking about the moment in the season finale where Mark S walks out of the cabin where he's having the conversation with him and boom, we're at Lumen. So we have no idea what transpired over the last 12 hours. Like the time jumps are, I think, what allow Ben Stiller and the rest of the team and production crew at Severance to make this such like a trippy ass show. You know what I mean?
And I think they cut a lot of fat. Because I think like we got the gist of what was going to happen in that scene. And then they're like, okay, let's just keep it pushing. We know they're going to continue the back and forth. And then when he comes back into Lumen, you could tell when he has that conversation with Helly that he's still on the fence about what to do next.
Yeah.
He didn't get any clear resolution on it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pissed as fuck at Helly, at Mark S. All that shit just really had my blood boiling. But great show.
Who's your favorite character?
Dylan or Milchek.
Yeah, I think those are probably the best.
You know, Dylan has the craziest looking face I've ever seen in my life. That is like he looks like a pufferfish.
Oh my God, I love Dylan. Dylan though, Audi Dylan is mad insecure. Like, how are you gonna be so mad about like your wife like cheating on you with you?
But then the letter he wrote was fire.
Yeah,
he wrote to himself.
It was.
He was like, first off, fuck you. That's a bar. You know what I mean? And then he was like, you know, but he gave him his props.
But how do you feel about that? How would you feel if your wife was doing things with any version of you?
Wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care?
Because it's me. The same version of me.
But your wife likes that version better. Not the version you ever get to experience.
But you're asking me, or if you're asking me if I was a piece of shit on the outside.
Well, no, you could be a high accomplished, great person on the outside, but for some reason your wife is more attracted to any version of you. He has some.
But now that's different.
Well, that's what's going on. That's what's going on.
If she's more attracted to him, then yes. If she just goes and is attracted to him as well as me, I don't care.
She's more attracted to him.
But if she's not attracted to me and she is attracted to him, then I'm going to feel away.
Why? That's you. That's one person.
But then it's like, I can't fuck on the outside, but you want to fuck on the inside? That's crazy. I'm jealous.
But it's just one person. How are you jealous of yourself?
Because I want to fuck.
Also, but what do you mean? What do you mean? But it's just one person. So you are fucking. You just don't remember it. It's like having amnesia.
Exactly. But that's the problem. But that's the problem. If I don't remember it, then I'm upset.
Okay.
Mark S.
I think there's flaws in your argument.
It doesn't, because Mark S. on the inside and the outside gets to feel love.
But you gotta talk about the other innies.
Like it would be different if you had Mark asking to give up his life on the inside to go be a loser on the outside with no wife. But you go get to be in.
Oh, I don't think that's different
everything that you're feeling on the inside with Helly R. You still get to go have on the outside, but times a million with someone you've been with for longer. Their love and their relationship, the crux of what Mark S. is trying to hold on to, he fully has on the outside.
Yeah, but I think that's where Mark did fuck up in the conversation. I don't think it should have been so much about love, because when you come at someone with like the way my love is so much more valid than yours,
yes,
because of X, Y, and Z,
yes,
it's never going to be received well. And who's to say that it is right that somebody like the length of love determines the value of it? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't necessarily believe that.
I agree if it would have been an unhappy relationship. But Mark was in a really, really happy relationship.
But Mark S. don't know that.
Mark S. thought that everything that he was saying, well, and now. Selena said the same thing. And here is my whole big issue. When they have the overtime contingency and any Mark got to be in Audi Mark's life and saw Gemma and got the whole rundown from his sister, he knows that they were in love. He knows that Mark had his wife taken away from him. And now any Mark knows that his wife wasn't killed. She was kidnapped.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you know all of this and you still don't get where he's coming from?
And that's my problem with the conversation. I think if I'm Mark's scout, the approach I'm taking is, hey, this company is literally evil, stealing people, experimenting on us. You've seen it from the inside. I see it from the outside. You have to be selfless here. I'm not going to promise you all this shit about reintegration and about how in love I am, but you need to be selfless here for the sake of the world. I think if he comes at him with that approach, it might hit a little different.
Yes, or you talk about PD.
Yeah.
Your best friend, your man's did integration. He's the reason I know about this, bro. And y'all was fucking with it together when you was talking about it, right? Y'all was on the same page when he was here. So now I'm you and I'm talking like PD and you going to act different now? Fuck you. But, that's what I'm saying. I would never be built for that camcorder conversation. Yeah, I'm breaking the camcorder.
Yeah, I don't think you would handle yourself well.
You would. Ooh. I think it would just be difficult because we'd gaslight each other.
Exactly, bro.
We would gaslight the fuck out of each other. Me arguing with myself is my worst nightmare.
I think it's probably anyone that ever met you's worst nightmare.
Yeah, I don't know if I could win. Yeah, I'd probably end up.
Actually, I would listen to that podcast.
Oh yeah,
I would listen to that podcast. Yeah.
It would end with both of us dead somehow.
Do you think if you replaced me and Osei with 2 more Mileses, this podcast is taken off?
No. I think this podcast lasts 5 episodes and gets no views, and we get through 2 topics an episode. Go way too deep into that.
I'm glad you said that.
Okay. Getting back to an argument that we did have, Playboi Carti's first week numbers dropped.
Hard pivot.
Yeah. I mean, we did severance.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I thought Carti was gonna break every record in the world. I didn't account for the fact that people 35 plus didn't care to listen to this album really at all in mass. It did 230 or 320.
You should check.
I think it did 320. I think it did 320.
The number I saw was 300.
And I saw 300, and then I saw Carti quote tweet saying 320. Academics tweeted out, Playboi Carti's music sells 298 first week. It'll debut #1 on Billboard. Carti quote tweeted that saying 320. I'm going to go with Carti's number because it's closer to me being right. 320 first week. Still a great debut.
Yeah.
I think obviously super, super impactful album. What was your number?
I said right around 250.
Yeah. So
we were off by the same amount,
because
we're not rolling with Carti's number. We're not rolling with Carti's bullshit.
What do you
out
mean?
The blue number? And I didn't really want to roll with. I didn't really like either of the sources you just cited. To be completely honest, I would have liked you to go to the Billboard Twitter if it's me, but
we give Ak always gets to tweet out the numbers. He's the one who I always see do it. So
that's why I'll give him 300.
I'll give him 320.
So he's right in between our guesses.
Yes. But yeah, I guess like I don't really know what more else to say about it besides like still a great album. I'm still slapping it. I still love it. I didn't expect people to love Like Wheezy like they do.
Yeah, it's so fire.
I
do love that song.
It's that song is like the mainstream one that everyone's loved. The IG baddies love Fine Shit.
Well, but it's Die Trying is the hit.
Rather Lie is the.
That's what I mean.
Rather Lie is.
What's Die Trying?
Die Trying is a song though.
Is that a different Weeknd song?
It's a song by The Weeknd somehow. I think. I don't know.
My bad. Yeah, but I mean, Rather Lie is the only one that was in the top 10 besides Evil Jordan.
But let me like okay, Rather Lie for the radio.
For just the numbers.
And like,
just
yes,
the overall.
That's like
yes.
That's what the Weeknd, it's the Weeknd Playboi Carti song.
It's the hit.
But like, is it the real hit? They're all hits.
I mean, it might not be the one that you like the best.
But it's not like.
And they're not all hits.
Okay, but I'm saying like, is Like Wheezy a hit?
Like Wheezy is like it's like a viral hit right now. And if it continues to stream, it could be a hit. Because I didn't see where they all charted.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I think that Rather Lie is like the radio hit. Like Wheezy's the viral hit. Fine Shit I see on Instagram stories and shit like that. And then all the underground kids love OPM Baby.
Yeah.
I've seen them fall in love with that song for a new reason every day.
Can you look at the whole Hot 100 and tell me where those three landed?
Yeah.
Because I didn't actually, I'm sorry, I should have looked at the charts before this. What?
Evil Jordan's higher than Die Trying. Or than Rather Lie. See, you got me fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2 and 4, right? In the top 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil Jordan is number 2. Hey, Luther's number 1 still.
I know, that's what I'm saying. What does Elliot Wilson keep saying?
Kenny.
Dot era.
Literally. The Giver Chaperone, number 5, man. Doechii Anxiety, number 10. I want to talk about Doechii now.
Well, I think we should talk about the Carti thing. Because I think it's important that we have this conversation.
What?
Because I've talked to a lot of people since the album came out. Some really like it, some really don't.
There's people who really don't like it?
Yeah, and some people have problems with the way you were talking on the podcast. I got a call saying that you sound crazy.
Who? I want to know. Because would I respect their opinion?
I don't know. But Antho, one of my dogs.
What he said?
He said, I don't like the way Miles said that if you're a young hip-hop fan, you like this. And he's a young hip-hop fan.
If you're a young... Ooh. Antho.
Oh, you going to call him old?
Antho.
You going to call him old right now?
Fuck with you, gang. Because I know what type of music... I think I know what type of music you listen to, and I listen to a lot of the same shit. If you are a young hip-hop fan who can name the shit that's popping, like the new shit. This is new hip-hop.
Thank you. That's all I want you to say, bro.
This is new hip-hop.
Yes, this is a new thing, and it's not what hip-hop is yet. To be honest, it is trending there. And we're seeing it be there. But if you are still getting, if after, listen.
Hip hop is, bro.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Kendrick Lamar, surprise drop, not on cycle, outsells your 30-song album that we've been waiting 5 years for.
Is there a debate that Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper of all time?
Yeah, I think a bunch of people would have a great.
So Kendrick got it.
Because Kendrick is what hip hop still is.
No, Kendrick is the greatest.
Yeah.
And he's an anomaly. I'm not putting them two up against each other. Kendrick is not the norm. Niggas are not rapping like Kendrick. Bro.
Okay, but
no. I won't allow it because here's what I'm gonna say, bro.
Yeah.
Niggas don't give a fuck about backpack rap. Niggas don't give a fuck about this lyrical miracle shit. It doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. And I fuck with it. I really enjoy that type of music, but that's not what people care about right now, bro. Nobody's listening to it. And the only person...
let's use numbers,
if
not
anyone
just
else,
your feeling.
No. Because if anyone else besides Kendrick Lamar dropped that album, nobody gives a fuck.
Well, that's why I think
Kendrick
we should...
Lamar dropped it. And so he could get it off.
Let's spin it off of Kendrick and Carti then.
Okay.
Who is Kendrick's closest comp?
J. Cole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is Carti's?
Future.
No.
Why?
You think that?
Yep.
You really think that? Yep. Okay.
They literally sound the same.
Okay. I would love to see how Cole charts compared to Future.
I mean, like that's on the top 10.
That's Kendrick, so don't do that.
No, it's not. It's a Future Metro Boomin song.
You
Future has two verses.
You know
Kendrick
exactly
has,
why that song is there. You know exactly why that song is there.
Because the song
it's the rap beef, bro.
No, because then Euphoria would be up there.
It was.
Bro, Euphoria,
it was
but
for
it's not.
weeks and
but
weeks
it's not.
and weeks.
But
Where's
it's not.
Like That? Is Like That still up there?
Yes.
Where?
Yes, it's number 8.
Okay.
Like That is up there because it's an objectively good song. And that's because Future and Metro Boomin bodied that shit.
For sure.
It's not a listenable song without them. So we're not going to do that. Carti is Young Thug, is Future. That is the sound of hip hop now. Kendrick Lamar is the best at what rap traditionally was.
But I think, I don't know, bro, because like we hear the Thug track on Carti's album, and we say it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, because
that sounds like a Young Thug track.
Because it's factually old, though.
That sounds like what.
But it's an old
But
Young
that's
Thug
the
track.
kind of music that Young Thug makes. Young Thug does not make what I Am Music sounds like. Future's a little bit closer.
But I'm more so talking about delivery and flow than production.
I know, but realistically, if we're talking about everything
Yeah.
that Carti does, flow, production, all that,
Yeah.
his real comps that make that kind of music would be so blessed to crack the top 100. That sound
Who is
Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely.
Ken Carson are not his comps, bro. Those are his sons. Them niggas try to do the same thing.
But they're the biggest besides
That's like
Carti
saying,
that are doing the sounds.
That's like saying Nine Vicious is Young Thug's comp.
No, because I don't think it sounds like Young Thug.
It sounds exactly like Young Thug.
Yeah, I haven't done the whole catalog yet.
Exactly like Young Thug.
But I wouldn't do that because Young Thug has people like Gunna, people like Keed, R.I.P., people that sound more. Future makes more sense with Young Thug. Like you can be more respectful with the comps because that genre.
Future sounds like Carti.
Carti sounds like Future.
Yeah, sure, sure, cool. That's his comp. That's a good comp.
I think that is the closest thing. But I mean, Future don't be rapping on the kind of beats that Carti do.
The weirder ones, yeah. The Cocaine Nose, the Pop Out, all that. But a lot of these beats weren't that crazy.
Yeah.
Because even, fuck it, Travis Scott. Travis Scott is a Carti comp. Travis Scott is probably Carti's most direct comp.
Okay.
And he goes number 1. That is what rap is now.
Yeah.
Rap in 2025 is closer to Travis Scott, Carti, Future, Young Thug than it is Kendrick, J. Cole, Joey Badass.
Yes.
320 is nothing to scoff at.
It's great numbers.
That's elite numbers. That's not great numbers. That's like top of the top.
Yeah.
30s, because bro.
Well, not the top of the top, but in that top tier.
Fuck it, bro. 30, even if you didn't have it in the top 10, all 31 in the top 100?
It's not impressive to me.
What?
It's not impressive to me. Any of these top tier artists, every song that is on their album debuts in the top 100.
But 30 of them.
Yeah, because they're not dumb enough to drop a 30-song album.
But niggas couldn't do that, bro.
Yes, they could. If Kendrick dropped a 30-song album, it's all there. If Future did it, it might be.
Future,
probably not.
Exactly.
Probably not.
Exactly. The only person who's getting it off is Kendrick, who is, again, debatably the greatest rapper of all time.
I think all of the songs Some Sexy Songs for You hit the top 100. It's
yes,
not.
Yes, I agree. Because the only people who could do what Carti did are the people who are in greatest artist ever conversations. You just said that the only people who did what Carti could do are Drake and Kendrick. Name someone else.
Taylor Swift does it every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
These are the people
any of the big dogs do it every time.
Exactly. And he's one of them.
Yes. I never said he wasn't. But you were trying to make it sound like this is the album. This is what hip hop is. This is the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
That's not what it is.
It's
2 songs in the top. That's not close to what Taylor does when she drops an album. That's not close to what Kendrick does.
Yes.
They fill that top 10. So I'm just saying.
Kendrick did not fill the top 10.
Probably had 5 of them.
No.
You could check. You could check. You could check.
No.
You could check.
And you know that's not true.
After GNX came out?
You know that's not true.
I think he had 5 of them. If we include Not Like Us, he might have had 6.
We're not including because that's not on GNX.
Okay.
How many GNX songs were in the Billboard Top 100? Is that going to work? Or top 10?
Probably top 10, yeah.
Yeah, he had 5. He had 5 in the top 10.
So 2.5 times as many as Carti?
Yes.
On a surprise drop.
I'm fine with that. Because it's also not surprise drop.
It was a
even
surprise
though
drop.
even though we say surprise drop, everyone knew an album was coming.
Nobody.
Were you shocked that he dropped an album?
Yeah, we were all shocked.
Did you think that Kendrick Lamar was going to drop an album last year?
No, we're on film, bro. Saying that maybe the week before the Super Bowl, but I don't know. Nobody in this room said that an album was coming in 2024. Nobody did.
We thought that we were talking about Kendrick the same way we were talking about Carti dropping.
No, we weren't.
Yes, we were, because we didn't know. We thought there was a big chance that Carti could have dropped last year, but we weren't sure.
Well, we thought because Carti told us he was rolling out and sold vinyl.
We had a hunch. Not even close. We had a hunch that Kendrick was gonna drop, and we said at the latest.
No, that's not what we said. It's gonna be Super Bowl. You can run the film back. You can run the film back. I think you said he doesn't drop an album.
We knew that we knew that he was gonna drop. We didn't. I didn't think he was going to drop by at least a Super Bowl. Even if he didn't drop GNX.
We'll have to run the footage back. But nobody expected at the end of the year. Carti sold vinyl. This was not even. This was 5 years and we all knew it was coming.
Again, I'm not going to do Carti versus Kendrick debate because, again, if we're debating those two things, I think Carti is exactly where he needs to be mentioned. And he's doing everything right. And he's proving that even if this is not currently the biggest sound, it is probably, it's just as big as backpack rap. Kendrick's sound is not more popular than fucking Carti's sound. I really don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Well, I think it's close. Yeah,
it's close, and that's
because neither of them are making what popular rap sounds like right now.
What does it sound? What does popular rap sound like?
To me, I think the closest thing. I don't know. Gunna?
No, bro.
You don't think that's what it sounds like?
No, I think that popular rap sounds like Playboi Carti.
Okay.
Or no, I mean we're lying. Huh. We know what popular rap is.
Travis Scott?
It's Travis Scott, which is Playboi Carti.
It's not.
It's Fiend. It's Fiend, which is featuring Playboi Carti. That was the biggest song on Travis's last shit.
I know, but you know that Utopia doesn't sound like I Am Music.
Hold on. But it sounds like Crush.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Philly.
A little bit, yeah.
And Olympian.
Not a lot like Olympian.
A lot like Olympian. South Atlanta Baby.
You just know.
South Atlanta Baby, bro, put the classic choir behind it, bro.
You know that Utopia is like a way safer version than what Carti's doing.
Yes, but I think they live in the same world. And that's what I'm saying. I think that this is maybe a more left of center version of it, but it lives in the same world. And I think he is, again, representative of what is the mass appealing rap music today. And I think that even if he's not maybe spot on with it, it's his world, Travis's world, not Kendrick's. Kendrick is just a name that's larger than life and deservingly dropped a great body of work during a incredible moment in his career. Because how many songs off Mr. Morale was charting?
I don't remember.
But that's the thing. GNX doesn't chart like GNX did if it's not in the heat of the beef either. We have proof.
What?
Mr. Morale didn't do it like that,
and Damn did it way bigger.
Damn did.
So I don't know what you're saying. Now we've seen him do better. We've seen him do worse.
No, because Damn I don't consider in the modern era. I would consider Mr. Morale in the modern era.
What do you mean modern era?
Like that was like 10 years ago when Damn, right?
No, well, like 7.
When did Damn come out?
2017.
So like 8 years.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Like 8 years ago. Yeah. Like that's old shit.
So we don't count Die Lit in the era either. That's previous era.
No, he was ahead of his time.
Okay.
He was still underground at that point. Carti was still underground with Die Lit for sure. I think that Carti broke out of the underground with a Whole Lotta Red.
Interesting.
That's probably my take for sure. But
no, I just see him so differently. I think Die Lit had that got played more. I heard that more outside. More people liked that. I think
we're just in the demographic more for it.
No, bro. I think the first 2 albums were honestly way more popular. To be completely honest, I know this when I sold it, but I really do think that there are more like hits on the first two, and then he went more niche with Whole Lotta Red with this new sound.
It's not niche, bro.
This new sound is
These kids love, bro. Rockstar, like people are debating online. They call Rockstar Made a classic intro. People compare Rockstar Made to those other two.
Online.
Bro, those are
Twitter
you
people
can't
online.
You can't just discount Twitter. These people have opinions. Why are they just online? Why can't they be people with opinions?
Because you can get any opinion you want on Twitter.
You can give any opinion, bro. You give any opinion you want on a podcast. Niggas could say whatever they want anywhere. You can give any opinion you want in a group chat. That point doesn't mean anything to me.
You think there are hits on I Am Music bigger than Magnolia?
Yeah.
What?
Rather lie.
No.
Rather lie.
No.
Rather lie.
No.
Yeah.
Iconic song, hit, streams, timeless.
Well, so you're also thinking like this. Magnolia is so iconic because it launched Playboi Carti's career like that. You know, that's part of what makes it iconic. That was everyone's first time hearing Playboi Carti.
No, I just think it's an iconic song.
That was a new sound though, because it was awakening something that niggas hadn't heard before.
I just think it's an incredibly fire song.
I don't think that's. You think that song's fire? I don't think it's fire.
Yeah, I think it's super fire.
I think it's iconic, but yeah, I don't think that shit fire. And it had a dance to go along with it. I think that's a thing too. When there's a dance to go with a song, it's unfair.
Yeah.
There's no dances to this. But fuck it, you know, also something that I think, because I want to get into this really bad. What is benefiting your point though is if this isn't the sound, if this is the modern day sound, why is doechii top 10? With that anxiety record.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that song.
Really?
doechii, I love you. doechii, I think you're amazing. Alligator Bites Never Hill. Champion in that. I love, you did a song for Sprite called Rocket I Even Love.
You said that was the best album of the year last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
What was your album of the year last year?
Number 2. My album of the year
Ira.
was Ira.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I don't love anxiety because I've actually always hated somebody that I used to know. I never liked that song. I despise that song.
Super hot take.
My mom loves Starbucks. Every time you walked in a Starbucks in like 2012, that was on. Yeah, I fucking hate that song. So not my favorite. I think that the doechii push has gone full force now. She's now officially everywhere. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot, and I love to see it because again, I think you could put the whole machine behind her when you have big label. Experienced label like TDE who knows how to make stars, But yeah, that's just, she's getting it.
It's kind of having a chaperone moment, I think, where it's like a year after a project comes out, it's just actually steadily rising. But I think the difference is that is making some people skeptical is the lack of maybe more than one hit, and that one hit is a little like, is this a hit? You know what I mean?
Anxiety.
No, I'm talking about Denial is a River, if we're talking about the album.
But yeah.
Because I think that number, what happened to Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess, the Chaperone album, makes more sense when you see what Hot to Go is doing. And Red Wine Supernova. And you're like, oh, okay. So this is the entry point for people. And they love this. And then they listen to the album. And the album all kind of sounds like it, but it has a Pink Pony Club and like different vibes. So I understand where the people are like, okay, where are these streams coming from? I do think the album is good enough that if you were intrigued by the Grammy win or the Grammy performance or the Lauryn Hill cosign, if you're intrigued by any of those things and you do listen to the album, you're probably going to really enjoy it and hold on to a bunch of songs and keep streaming it. I just don't think there's as obvious of like an inflection point for new fans, and that's causing a little skepticism behind this push.
What songs do you play?
From Alligator Bites, Bullfrog, Price, Slide.
You talking about Prophet?
Yeah, Prophet.
That's the one I play. I'll go back to Prophet every day of my life.
Yeah, I love Prophet. Stankapoo.
Lying ass. Boy ain't played Stankapoo in months.
I played a Stankapoo.
I think that I can appreciate it, and the only reason
Death Roll. I'm sorry, Death Roll. I play all the time.
I think that this is headphone music, and so as someone who listens to music a lot, I could see how there's streams to it. And I could see why people are confused because this is maybe not the stuff that I'm going to play when I'm in the car with people or when I'm at a pregame or party or anything like that. But if I'm just say I'm like, if I was in school and doing homework.
Yeah.
You know, like I might have it on in my headphones or something like that. You know what I mean? When it's just me and like my vibe or whatever, and I just want to hear the project because I think it's a project, not like I'm going to play a song off this. So I get why people are like, I don't hear it enough for it to be as big as it is. But I do also think that all women have rallied around doechii.
Yeah.
I think that that's an underrated thing. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a woman talk negatively about doechii. And I think that that's a really big thing. Like, when you really reverse engineer it, it kind of makes sense why it is, why like she is doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
I saw doechii on an Instagram story the other day. Like someone posted it and I was like a song with that in the background.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. That felt like the first time I'd seen that, but it is starting to get to that point now.
You haven't seen that?
No.
I've seen people put it on the story for sure.
But like not posting the song, like posting a picture of them just with the song in the background.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen that really.
Really?
No.
I feel like I've seen some of that.
What type of person is it though?
A music fan?
Okay. Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
Not a music fan. Have you seen it?
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
And why would I care what a non-music fan thinks
because
about
now
music?
because now it's broken into the mainstream. So now it's like, oh, like people are really just like fucking with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like now people are really listening to the album.
Yeah.
And like giving it a chance. It's not just in our own little circle. So I do think that doechii is actually becoming a star, and this is deserving, and it's just so high quality. And rap is that's the one disconnect for me though, because I do really stand on the fact that no one cares about backpack rap anymore.
Yeah, and this is the biggest hopeful moment for me.
Yeah,
I think this is so hopeful because I don't know. I think a lot of my takes about what's going on, especially when it comes to when we're talking about Playboi Carti, is I really like Playboi Carti, but I really don't like his influence on the sound. I really don't like a lot of people that are molded after him. I like maybe 2 or 3 people in the underground, and I don't want that to become the popular sound of hip hop. Me, I sound old probably, but just what I enjoy, I would like it if more doechii's streamed, so more labels cared about.
More doechii's, not more J. Cole's though.
Sure, more mics.
More mics.
I would love these dope. I care about what you are saying in your bars.
I care about what you're saying, but a lot of niggas be fake deep. I would rather have Carti than a fake deep nigga rapping mad slow to me.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, fake deep is like up to your interpretation though. Because
no, because I don't like mad straightforward bars with no depth. When you are putting yourself on a pedestal and thinking like, oh, I'm niggas who sound woke, bro, and like aren't saying anything of substance or just saying logical ass statements. Or like, you know what I mean? Like a holier than thou mentality. I get a lot of that from these lyrical miracle rap niggas, bro. That's why when I talk about lyrical rap that I love, a lot of it be drug dealer niggas.
Yeah.
Because they're not trying to preach this whole, like they're just like, yeah, I sold a brick, but I'm gonna make it sound cool. And like do that. I like that type of lyrical
And I think
rap.
there's more space for that in an environment that likes lyrics and likes bars.
But if you care about what you say and don't like what Playboi Carti is doing to the music, what's the difference between listening to Pusha T, Westside Gunn, and Boldy James talking about pushing bricks, shooting niggas, and going to jail versus Carti talking about the same thing? They're pushing the same thing in music.
Yeah, but it's a totally different level of lyricism,
but the takeaways are the same.
Who cares?
No,
I'm not talking.
It's not the same because the producers on both fronts are the ones who we really be giving a lot of credit to. Al, Derringer, Nicholas Craven. And I think you would agree that no matter how you feel about this Playboi Carti album, the producers deserve every one of their flowers.
Yeah, they're great.
So
well, now I'm talking about what I like.
Yes.
And I like Al, Derringer, Madlib, people in that world a lot more than I like the production sound of
Cardo Got Wings?
I love Cardo. Maybe OG Volta, to be completely honest. And that sound. And I'm talking about what I like now. You know what I mean? And I also don't think it's fair for you to ask me what the difference between a Playboi Carti verse is and who'd you say? A Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, Boldy James verse. Because you're playing dumb if you're gonna sit here and pretend like you don't know the difference.
I am saying that. Well, I'm just saying I don't like your point when you said I don't like what it's doing to music.
I don't.
I would rather hear a young nigga talk about a fucking 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Can't rap like West Side Gun or Benny the Butcher and all them. What makes Benny the Butcher and all them so dope is the fact, and let me not say Benny the Butcher, Boldy James and all them be able to rap how they rap is life experience and storytelling.
But Mike does
and going through shit.
Mike does it.
But Mike is super rare. We can't expect Mike to be the norm. I think Mike is an anomaly.
Yeah.
And is like really, I don't think it's realistic to expect other young niggas to be on that type of time.
There are people that do it. Like, you don't have to be as good or as for us as Mike. I would take a Red Veil over Amali Santana.
That's not fair.
I'll take a Red Veil over a Ken Carson. I'll take a Red Veil over. Give me 98% of them.
And I guess my thing too with the underground is I've just realized, because I you know that this has been like a literal like last year switch for me.
Yeah.
I've really realized that I just haven't listened. I shut my ears off to all of it and did not hear. I don't think I had ever clicked on a Destroy Lonely. I still to this day don't think I've listened to a full Destroy Lonely project back to front. But then what I keep hearing is random songs will come, because you know what I mean? I always add the albums in my shuffle shit.
Yeah.
And then when I'm shuffling my music library and a random song that I've never heard from them comes up and I'm like, oh wait, this beat is crazy. Oh wait, this nigga's flow is crazy. Like I'll really be like, oh, I never even gave this a chance to even find, because like there's plenty of think about like all the J. Cole albums that we haven't loved, but we found 2 or 3 songs that we liked off of them.
Yeah.
And that nigga was able to keep pushing his career forward for the last 5-6 years doing shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could probably go into a lot of these young niggas' albums and find 5-6 songs that are really fucking fire, with producers that we really could get behind and some lyrics that are really fucking fly. And niggas don't even be talking crazy on this shit. They be talking fly shit, cat shit that we could even get behind.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I hate the fact that, and they're our age. They're the same age as us. So it's like, we can relate to this. We live more closely to what they live than what these other niggas is talking about, to be honest.
Yeah, but I don't just listen to what I live. Like, I'm somewhat aspirational in the music I listen to.
So you want to listen to a nigga talking about doing drugs and selling drugs? That's your aspiration?
No.
Come on.
No.
Exactly.
But the skill is so out of this world to me that I do it.
Yes. And I get the same thing from them on some of these songs, bro.
Okay,
We've heard bad Boldy James albums with a couple good songs.
Yeah.
They deserve the same chance, but I'm saying we're not.
No,
even
Boldy
listening.
James only gets that chance because the first thing I heard from him was the Price of Tea in China.
I know,
a classic.
I know.
What?
But But then what if you go back and listen to Boldy James' first projects?
I've done it,
and they're not all the way that good.
No.
I'm talking like.
So I guess I'm waiting for Destroy Lonely to drop his Price of Tea in China, and I'm sure I'll catch wind of it because of the people I talk to.
Yeah.
That when he drops something that's that good, then he'll got me. But I'm not interested in being a Boldy James fan pre 2017. You would have shown me his music back then. I don't really care.
But then you go back to my first chemistry set.
Yeah, I got some slaps on that.
You know what I mean,
yeah.
bro? I think that we just can't. I don't want us to write it off. I don't think we're ready to be old heads yet. Let's give it 5 more years.
No, here's the thing, bro. It's not, and this is back to, I think, my problem with the way that you talk about some of this stuff is me saying I value lyrics a lot and like this sound more doesn't make me old. There are plenty of young people doing this, and there are plenty of young people that like this. It might not be as many as that like Playboi Carti.
I like it too. And that's
no, you don't. You don't really, because you be thinking all this corny.
But not all of it.
And
I just told you I like the drug dealer shit.
I think you would rather. I think corny is the worst thing in the world to you, and it's not the worst thing in the world to me.
But I like Boldy. I like Pusha. I like Currency.
Yeah.
I like niggas who are. When I say corny, I'm talking Benny the Butcher, J. Cole, Logic. You know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about.
Don't
corny,
put them
bro.
in the same box as Logic.
My bad.
I'm still way more interested in a project from Benny or Cole than I am a Destroy Lonely project, a Ken Carson project.
I think that you could count on one hand how many Ken Carson songs you've heard.
That's not true. I listened to the whole X album.
Really?
Bad album.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear that
whole album.
I have never heard that
I can probably count on I probably have 8 songs in my library, Ken Carson songs.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I've added. You know, like I've
and
given this music a chance. It's not for me, and that's fine.
But there's certain,
that's so
I don't
fine.
think it's the genre. I think there's artists. The same way that there's artists in Benny and them's world that aren't for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that we heard a couple artists that the people were pushing early on. Like, because I still don't really like Yeet.
I don't either.
Yeet's not my bag. Ken Carson isn't my bag. I like, though, Destroy Lonely. I like Nine Vicious. I like Carti. I like Until Japan.
Yeah.
I see a lot of these young dudes, and I'm like, not only are they dope, they're pulling from things that we love, bro. This nigga Until Japan sampled Found by Tim's.
Yeah, fire.
Like they have,
I like him too.
But I'm saying exactly. You know what I mean? So that's what, then when you like that, I'm like, I think that there's some songs that you would really love and artists that you would really love, but I don't want us to make overly general statements about them so early on in their careers. And while we could I don't want us to write off a genre before it could like really get a chance with us, you know?
I think I've given a lot of chances and I will continue to. I'm not writing it off. I'm just telling you right now in 2025 what I like and what also I think is good for me to listen to. Because to be honest, like a lot of this Playboi Carti music sounds good, but I don't really necessarily like the way it makes me feel.
How does it make you feel?
All the time. I think it's a lot more intense sometimes than I would like. A little bit. It's just not the music that I'm listening to most of the time.
And you'd rather listen to Boldy James talk about disloyalty in his friend group.
No. That's not what I'm listening to a lot either.
Okay.
My music taste is changing.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think you're listening to rap.
I'm listening to some rap.
Like Familiar by Amine.
I'm probably, no, I don't think that's rap. But
exactly. Okay, I agree.
I mean, I listened to the whole Currency album like 3 times that he dropped last week. I'm still like listening to rap.
Okay.
But I think I'm probably listening to the least rap I've listened to since I was 15.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this is right or this is good, but I get on here to tell you what I like.
Yes.
In hopes that somebody out there feels the same way.
But I don't think you can say what you like. And I think you can say what you like, but would not say that this other stuff, don't criticize other stuff in a negative way. It's just, I think
this conversation started because I was talking about how I love seeing doechii win and hope that it's encouraging to labels and artists to keep making this sound because I think there's value in that. That's how this conversation started.
Doechii is good. Doechii is good. I just am like,
doechii is incredible.
It's you know why I think I'm so frustrated about it and why I'm passionate about it? I think that side of rap music has just been fully explored. I think that while the doechii album is incredible and dope, I don't think it's revolutionary.
I would agree.
And I think that this other stuff feels new and exciting and like what's going to push rap forward. And I think that if we continue to request more of what we've already heard, that's how a genre dies out.
Okay.
And I think that that's what I've seen happen with like even like R&B, bro.
Yeah.
That's why it's in this weird ass place. Cause like there's almost it's so hard to innovate with it, you know? And The Weeknd came through and changed shit up early on, you know? And now everyone's trying to be like him and we need another thing to push it forward. And that was Afrobeat and all that stuff. You know what I mean? That's why I love Ira so much because I see her mixing R&B and bringing a new element to make the genre interesting again. Okay. I want to push the music forward. I don't want to stay in the same place. Yeah. And I feel like that style of rap music is just going to stagnate the genre.
Okay, well, I think this is also where I have kind of a problem is because I don't necessarily see these as true evolutions in the same genre, rather as new sounds being born and new genres being created.
But there's subgenres. Because rap is, think about how many subgenres there are with rock.
Yeah, but I don't count where it went in a lot of different branches as rock anymore. We've had this conversation many times.
What do you mean?
Punk is not rock. Metal is not rock. These are new sounds to me, that I don't think fit under this broad umbrella. And I think there's no point anymore in like using these broad terms. Oh, if you like hip hop, you're going to like Mike and Playboi Carti. You're probably not.
Why? I do. I live that.
I know.
I feel like there could be people. And that's what I'm saying. Because I feel like someone who likes Playboi Carti or likes the young nigga rap may not like all of Mike's stuff, but they're gonna hear the Tony Seltzer thing.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And like that was opening my eyes because it was like, oh, wait, Mike isn't a 35-year-old old man making these dusty raps. He's a young nigga making fly shit.
But I think what I'm trying to say is a genre has a lifespan. Everyone does. And I might be in agreement with you that hip hop's like biggest day, the hip hop that we knew and were raised on, is probably behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now something new is gonna come replace it. And that's why I don't necessarily agree with you saying Ira Star is here to innovate R&B again.
She's not. I'm just saying that's the closest thing.
I think R&B is also maybe best days behind it. And I think that's fine. Let's just put our arms around Afrobeat.
But not
like there's new things. We don't need to hold on to these genres.
Go. No, because
the genre doesn't need to be evolved. If there's a genre you love, you can have just the classic sounds continue to be made, and the true fans of that genre will hold on to it.
So then we can go into the next thing because Lil Tecca. Blowing up. Lil Nas X, when we reacted to his new song.
Yeah.
The Kid Leroy. All of these people are taking this early 2000s Neptunes R&B sound that started with Justified. So these genres, while we may say their best days are behind them, there's so much in them that like it makes people feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Like we need R&B. Because R&B is the perfect in-between if you want to go outside and get men and women to dance with a kind of positive message that's not overly aggressive while also not being like overly sexual. Like you can still feel fly about it, da-da-da. Like that in-between area is necessary in music and in, to me, society.
If I take the sentence out, you could have put Afrobeat in, and every single thing that you just said is true.
What?
If I take out your first sentence about we need R&B because, and you say we need Afrobeat because, every sentence you just said is true. It's the exact, you know? And so I'm saying you will never, nobody's ever going to take those SWV albums away from you, bro. Nobody's ever going to take all of the Neptunes albums away from you. You'll always have that, but it's okay to just say, maybe this is where music is now.
But why is it working? Why is it working now then?
What, the Neptune sound?
Yes. Bar for bar, the Neptune sound.
Because people love that sound.
So it doesn't need to be left behind. It doesn't need to be, there's a way to modernize it. And there's a way to not even, and you don't even have to modernize the sound. It's taking the elements and evolving it. I think evolution is necessary. I think that there's certain things and certain energies that were created with the sound. Because I think that when you get a Pharrell, right?
Yeah.
Pharrell, when he was producing and making music, I feel like was trying to make people feel something. And I think that feeling that he was giving people is a feeling that we lost in music for a little bit. Because I think we hear a lot of soulless music. And it's kind of coming back to me a little bit, the feeling in music when people throw it back to this stuff while still feeling original. Sometimes it feels derivative.
Yeah.
But a song like $1 Million Baby or Devil Is a Lie, that felt like, okay, this is a little modern twist to it.
Yeah.
Or even the whole fucking the album that Tommy did.
Yeah.
Felt like a modern twist on an old school sound.
Yeah.
And updated, and that was necessary. And I was happy to hear people doing that. And I feel like that was a welcome in our marketplace.
Yeah. I agree with all that.
So I think that's why we can't just leave this shit behind.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm saying leave it behind. I don't think that's the crux of my argument. But I just don't think you need to always say like, okay, hip hop is my world. I think it's fine to like bounce around. You know what I mean?
I don't think hip hop is my whole world.
Yeah.
But I think that hip hop culture is something we can't let go of.
Yeah.
I think that is still alive and well.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna not call these niggas rappers because their whole shit is hip hop.
Yeah.
The whole look, the whole feel, the whole everything. And none of these niggas would be, bro, this whole promo run that Carti was doing, he was shouting out Wayne.
Yeah.
This is all a homage to Wayne, or homage.
I don't know.
This is all paying homage to Wayne.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it don't sound nothing like a Wayne tape. And then I see what was crazy is I Can't Believe It by T-Pain with Wayne on it. There's a video of him rapping in the studio, his verse. And they're like, oh my God, this is the first time niggas were hearing mumble rap. They're one and the same.
Okay, you can have that. You can have that. And I'll still stand on the point where I think it's important for a genre to evolve. And yes, I like the Playboi Carti album, but I don't necessarily like where he's evolving it personally, and that's fine.
Grandpa,
sorry,
you'll come around one day. You'll come around one day.
I'll play the album.
Yeah,
and you don't get to make fun of me when I do. Oh, you were just hating on this. You don't get to do that because I'm not hating on him. I'm hating on pretty much everyone that tries to sound like him.
You're lame, bro. You're lame. All right, so talk to me about Doja Cat and Jack Harlow.
They dropped a song.
That's your bag.
Doja Cat and Jack Harlow dropped a song. A nice little.
Give us more of that, right?
A nice little sexy love song.
Yep.
Shot a music video in a restaurant, probably in Los Angeles, probably during Grammy week, maybe during Oscars week. There was a lot of actors in there.
Yeah.
Cameos everywhere. John Mayer, Matt Damon, Malcolm Todd, a bunch of other people that I knew I should know, but couldn't quite say their name.
Pink Panthers was in there.
Oh yeah, Pink was in there. Yeah, it was dope. I don't know. I think Doja kind of killed him, to be completely honest. And
I think that Doja is one of the best rappers out. Period.
Yeah.
You're not gonna put female in front of that.
Yeah.
Smoked that nigga.
Yeah.
Smoked him on it. Like it wasn't even like they weren't even in the same stratosphere on that.
Yeah.
Doja caught a flow and went dumb on that shit.
Yeah.
Fire verse from her, but I think Jack played his role.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jack knew what was happening in that. I love how he's clearly latched on to the I'm going to give you a crazy bar in the first couple of seconds of the song.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. Don't know if I love that that's his thing.
Yeah, he's talking about busting nuts.
It's almost a little too jokey.
Yeah, I didn't like that line.
It's a little too jokey for me now.
Yeah.
I didn't love that one. He's doing this cool suave guy thing now. I think that Jack is becoming a little bit forgettable. I don't think none of these songs have made an impact really.
No, they haven't, but I listened to them all the other day, and I actually really like a lot of them.
I like
all of them.
You know my bag.
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the biggest Drake fans ever.
Yeah.
This is very Drake music.
Yeah.
It's the easy listening to kind of melodic beats, you know what I mean? He can skate over them. He has good witty bars. He's good at choruses, you know. It's very it's easy to listen to.
Yeah.
It is the complete opposite of all that underground Carti shit we were just talking to.
Yeah.
And I think that again, this has become my least favorite type of music because it becomes apathetic and it feels scientific and it feels like you knew exactly what you were going for on this and just it's very plug and play.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Doja Cat's gonna body this verse. I'm gonna say my horny bar at the beginning of the song. And what was the chorus? Like it's just lovey-dovey boring. It was boring to me a little bit at this point. Okay. It's not bad though. It's really decent. Yeah. And like when I go back, I'm like, okay, I don't hate this song, but what would make me play this when there's so much other music that sounds like this that is probably has more feeling?
Yeah, I feel you. I don't think it's been the most, they haven't been the most exciting songs, but going back and listening to them all and realizing I like them all, I am really excited for the album. To be completely honest, like I did like enough of what he's doing, and I don't think he's put it all together yet. I'm still waiting on that Jack Harlow album that is top to bottom, something that I really, really enjoy. And based on the singles, I think he finally is marrying his desire to be a backpack rapper and his ability to create really listenable like pop rap records. And I do see this project being his best. So I'm really excited.
But will it make an impact? What is his best project mean in the scope of rap music, his place in rap? Who are his peers?
I don't know.
You know,
you said Drake. That's not a bad one.
Is that his peer?
Yeah, I think somebody that like makes. I mean, obviously he's like looking up to Drake, but I think sonically it makes a lot of sense, and I think they both have a lot of crossover appeal and make a lot of pop rap records.
Who is he competing with?
I think The Field.
And is he competitive? Does he have a chance to win?
Yeah.
Really?
I think we've seen. I think we could count on our fingers how many rappers have broken the top 10 in the last year. To be honest, hasn't been many. We've seen the least raps on the top 10 and on the charts that we've seen in a long time.
And I don't think this breaks the top 10 if he doesn't come with the delivery. Because my thing with him is delivery.
Yeah.
Loving on Me had some energy to it.
Yeah.
There was some oomph behind what he was saying. Now he's a little too laid back for me.
Yeah.
He seems like he's trying to be too cool.
I'm worried that you're right if these are the singles. Because you'd think one of them would be the one that like had that oomph.
Where's the energy?
But I like the songs enough to say that I'm not going to count him out as one of those people that could crack that top 10.
Yeah, he's white.
On the
You
album.
can't count him out. I'm just being honest, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's going to have a chance.
Yeah.
He has money behind him. He has a machine behind him. He has great production. He is a known face. He's safe. He's marketable.
Yeah.
And more than anything, like I like him as a person now more than I like his raps. Like I genuinely think Jack seems like a cool nigga.
Yeah.
Like white person. I think Jack Harlow seems like someone I'd want to like hang out with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not, and I think he pushes good narratives in this actually.
Yeah.
Keeps his people around, seems very level headed. I love the sober thing that he was doing. Like it seems like he's really trying to like be a good role model in this, which I think is important. I like the way that he speaks about women. I think that that's really, really important because he's super respectful a lot of the time, I think.
Yeah.
But bro, the music it feels a little lifeless. It feels like what people say happens when you blow up.
Yeah.
And you get your moment. It's like, yo, where did this go? Because now the funny shit isn't even funny no more. Again, it's robotic.
Yeah. Well, I also don't think he's picked beats in these 4 singles that lend themselves to a top 10 hit. I don't think any of the beats are top 10 beats. And I think we know that like production plays just as much of a role in that as like delivery.
I disagree.
Which one?
Hello, Miss Johnson?
No.
That's a radio song.
No.
That's a radio ass song. And so is this Doja Cat.
That's like a bossa nova like that's not what Lovin' on Me sounded like. That's not what's popping or any of his other hits.
I'm not saying it's a hit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a radio song. And it's not even doing that.
I don't know.
That's why I'm worried about it. Because it's not, I don't expect top 10 Billboard smash from none of them. But I don't even hear nobody talking about them or playing them. Me neither. I never hear bro, they don't make a peep. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Jackman project hurt him, honestly. And
it did damage that I didn't think.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, the sound is definitely not what people are really looking for.
Yeah.
But I've liked all the singles. I'm really excited for the album. And you asked me, what does that mean? Like Jack Harlow's best work. It means an album that I'm going to respect as a fan of the genre and enjoy from top to bottom and add to playlists. And that's what I care about. Right. As like a selfish music fan, I care about how many songs I'm putting in my library and how many I'm spinning every day.
Right now, I feel like it's gonna be just as good as that the album pre-Jackman. That's
Come Home
vibes,
the Kids Miss You?
Yeah, that's the vibes that I'm getting. Because again, that had Churchill Downs on it, which I think is a very respectable song with some verses, you know. I think if you go listen to that project, I'll stand on the fact that like I'm not gonna tell nobody that that's like you got like a must listen to project. But if you like that bag of rap music, there's some shit on there.
Yeah.
There is. And the beats, again, the production on that, A1.
Yeah.
A fucking one. I just don't think that I think that the issue has always been him. And I don't see improvement from him. And I hate that because again, like he seemed to have everything.
Yeah.
And he finally got a comp that wasn't like nerdy white boy rapper, you know? He got embraced by Drake. Like it seemed like everything was going around him like at the right. He was coming up the same time as Drewski, who's one of the biggest. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Something weird happened. And I thought he was gonna come back with something better too, because he ducked off for that time.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, it is interesting to see what happened. And it doesn't make a ton of sense. But I think it all comes down to the music at the end of the day.
What if none of these are on the album? I wouldn't be surprised.
Ooh, I
wouldn't be shocked at all.
I like all the singles, but I kind of hope he's doing that.
I hope so too.
But there's no way he's leaving the Doja song off the album.
Facts.
If you have a Doja song, you're putting that on your album.
Maybe. And
talking about Jack Harlow, I'm seeing your point more about that sound, you know, and I get it because that is the pop rap of yesterday, to be honest. And that is, I think, what a lot of people that do look up to a Kendrick might try to make, or like might look up to a Drake. That's how they might be coming off without the life experience that it takes to make some of the more mature music that we like. So I do see what you're saying.
And it's like, now, last thing I'll say, I would rather, and we could both agree on this one, that Untitled Japan album, Safe Travels, does more for me than like any of the people who are doing that sound.
Yeah.
That feels like,
I love that.
You know, and I think the best of this young generation are just now starting to poke their head out and start to come out of this. I think Yeet, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, that's the first iteration while it was still new. And now I think the other ones are starting to really show their head and do what they're supposed to do. But
I think you might be right. And I think I might just follow too many underground pages.
Yeah.
I think I really might just follow too many underground pages, and I'm fed this pipe dream every year of this new crop of artists, and I've liked none of them.
Yeah.
To be honest. So I think maybe it's more on me to find my own lanes, because I love Untitled Japan.
You know, we'll find.
He's great.
We'll find the right ones.
Yeah.
The right ones that are supposed to get it off, they're going to get it off, bro. Shout out the ones that, just keep making music, guys. Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, that I do want that to be the message.
Okay. Talking about more genre pushing good music people. Sexyy Red and Chicken P were on plaqueboymax's stream yesterday. We don't have to get too deep into this, but what I do want to highlight about why I'm starting to why I've always loved plaqueboymax is, again, it feels like it's giving regular people a look into industry things and maybe the things that aren't always public. And now the less glamorous, more annoying side of how I would never want to work in any other industry. I love working with artists. You heard me say a couple weeks ago, I think we're in the service industry. I think that these artists are creatives that are so special that like I want to just watch them work. That's what makes me happy. That would not be to say I don't think a lot of them are great people. I don't know if all of them are stand-up human beings.
Can you run me who Chicken P is before we get into it?
Chicken P is just a southern, I think a Florida rapper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, what was his song? He had a song about chicken.
No, that was El Snapo.
Oh, El Snapo had the chicken song.
Yes.
Chicken P is a southern rapper. Is he good?
He has some songs. He has a couple songs. He's cool. He's equivalent to El Snapo.
Okay. Got it.
You know? But I think that
song was crazy, Chicken Man, and they put Richie on it too. Yeah, wildness.
Wow, you know that I pray for my people. But yeah, so we watched Max, who's what am I going to say about plaqueboymax? I think Max has economics first movers advantage.
Okay,
I think that is what he is experiencing to the fullest, which is funny because Kenny Beats was really the first one to do everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's the first like streamer nigga, not musician doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's the most talented engineer. He's not producing anything. He's just kind of playing beats for artists and recording them basically on Pro Tools.
Yeah.
And they have fun because a lot of rappers, especially underground rappers, are recording in Airbnbs. With their homies, or like a lot of the young niggas nowadays record themselves. So they're not used to the most professional engineers. Guys, if you can, get an engineering homie. Get someone who really takes the craft seriously. You don't have to engineer, produce, mix, and master everything yourself. I get that that's dope for the Instagram caption, but you don't gotta be Superman, to me. To me. Vince Staples has a great quote about this because people are like, Vince, why don't you learn how to produce? He's like, I know 15 niggas that can make fire beats. Is that really the best use of my time to give myself a bunch of B+ beats that I made when I could go get A+ beats from Alchemist and just become a better rapper? Yeah. Because that's what I do. That's my stance on that. But Max, I'm not saying you're the best engineer, but I think he's cool. He curates people. He's a vibe, all this shit, whatever, right? And so Sexyy and Chicken P and their whole crew come through, and Max is playing beats off his Discord for about an hour and a half, and they hate all of them.
Because these are these people that are within the Discord that made these?
Well,
like more so fan submitted beats?
No, well, it's fans and producers now. Cause like he's getting the one that they ended up going over was like a filthy beat.
Oh, cool.
Like, cause niggas know at this point that Max is a platform.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he keeps one in the tuck. You know what I mean? Like he has some packs that are like from great producers, but it's his ear. And I think that what made him cool and what made like the DDG song work for him is like Max being a young nigga is like, yo, you older, maybe less out of touch rapper or someone who's like considered washed. Let me put you on something that I think your voice would sound good on and bring the, let's modernize you. You know what I mean? I think that's why the Wiz Khalifa one worked really well. DDG, obviously, whatever, right? And they weren't fucking with it at all. Yeah. And it was just really awkward. And it was a situation where, again, there's 15, 20 niggas in there. Nobody was really rapping. It was just like, yo, what are we really doing? It's loud as fuck. The people are like, we can't even hear you talk on stream. All we're hearing is Sexyy Red arguing with her homegirl in the back. There was a point when somebody's phone got stolen. And then I see, I think it was Mike Hector commenting. He's like, Max now knows what a real rap session is like. And I can't lie to you. When you go into these studios, sometimes the last thing that happens is making music. Niggas be mad distracted, bro. Yeah. Like they don't be wanting to do nothing. When you come to the studio with 15 niggas, bro. Yeah. What are we doing, bro? Like, what are we really doing? And I think Max, like, the naivety kind of kicks in. And he's like, oh, just bring whoever. Bring your whole crew. Everybody pull up. Da-da-da. And it's like, when he doesn't have the controlled environment, the streams always seem to go bad. And that's what kind of happened. It was a little awkward. Chicken P ended up leaving and not even rapping after he got in beef with the Twitch chat to the book. Because the chat be roasting niggas. Yeah. Because the chat is obviously all fans of Max. Yeah. So when they see Max looks unhappy, like, oh, fuck these dudes, lame as fuck. They start saying crazy shit about Chicken P. And he's like, I'm leaving, bro. And he was drunk as shit. And I fuck with Sexyy though. And I commend her because I think she showed her maturity in that she wasn't really fucking with it and was kind of contributing to the off vibe a little bit. But then she kind of seemed to see what was going on and was able to kind of be like, all right, let's make the best of this. Let's give him, I'll give you 8 bars. I'll make sure that it would end up being her, Baby Kia, this nigga Baby Chief Do It. That was the trio on a filthy beat. All right. I know I just said a lot of words that anyone over a certain age is gonna be like, that was gibberish. But
yeah. I heard the sexy part. And I think the tweet kind of didn't do it justice because it was like, oh my God, Max and Sexyy Red just made a smash hit on stream. And I clicked on it and I was like, well, okay. But I fuck with what Max is doing. Yes. And I think, like you said, it's really cool to give people eyes into the studio. And they can't all be wins. Yeah. And the more of these you can get out of the way, the more incredible sessions you can have with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do this and you have to have bad streams for good ones to happen. That's just what's going to happen. So I don't know. I hope he's not discouraged by it. I think what he's doing is really cool. And I hope it doesn't turn any artists off. I don't think it will, honestly.
It's not. And I think Max, I hope he goes, and again, I'll go in the streaming world a little bit, because I think the first one who did this and who's doing it kind of successfully is this dude, Bruce Drop 'Em Off, who used to be literally like, that is the person who made me actually fully dive into the streaming world. This nigga is cool as shit and used to be friends with Yachty, had Yachty on stream like years ago when he still had the red hair, close with Lucky. He knew Carti a little bit, like as part of that, he's from Atlanta. Yeah. Used to be friends with Kai and all them, but he had like a whole falling out. But he's signed people now. So he has like a label called Ball Hog, and a couple of people are signed to him, and he's like playing the exec role. And I think that Max is taking the more creative approach to it, trying to be creative. But when I'm looking what he's doing, it's kind of like what I'm doing as on the publishing side, when it's like setting up sessions and like trying to put them together, obviously. And you realize when you're doing that, not every session is going to be a win. Yeah. In your head, you could be like, oh, this is such a good idea. I love these sounds. I get it. Like the music that should come out of this should be really, really good. Yeah. And then 8 hours pass by and you get one song and it's just not that good. Yeah. And you're like, fuck. Like, but not every session is going to be a hit. Not every session is supposed to be a hit. If every time someone walked in the studio, they got a song that was a smash hit, like you were saying, like the tweet was trying to get off, niggas would have 30. That's not like you said, 30 song albums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Incredible ones.
So I'm not mad at it. I think it's a learning lesson, like you said. I hope it doesn't discourage him. I hope he starts to take the more. I hope he realizes the role that he's playing in this is bigger than just being a creative that has to make a hit every time. He's doing a science experiment. I hope he puts together an album.
Yeah, and it might be a lesson too in like you can't do everything. Like you said, you can't be Superman. I would like to see if maybe he does some of these sessions off stream. You know, if he's serious about making an album and being an engineer, like just getting in the studio with people and streaming less, or maybe he's streaming is what he wants to do, and he figures out a way to make these streams less about the song that comes out of them and more about just like the who was it? Kevin Gates shit.
Yeah.
More like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think you probably do have to pick whether you want the stream itself to be really entertaining or if you want to make really impactful art, because the likelihood that you're going to get more pink dreads, not even saying that's impactful art. Yeah. But songs like that is probably pretty low.
Or the Wiz Khalifa one even. I keep pointing back to that one because it was so fun. Yeah. And the takeaways weren't, these are great songs. It's like, I got to see a side of Wiz Khalifa. And this was like, even like the young niggas who like don't really know, they know See You Again. Yeah. And shit like that. And like Black and Yellow, you know what I mean? But they don't know like.
Sad.
Niggas, but they hear this and they're like, oh wait, Wiz went in there high as fuck. And like, you see a switch on his head. That nigga punched in and bodied his shit. Yeah. He's not even going back and forth with some shit. He skated over that. And even though niggas aren't like streaming that song as crazy as the other shit, they were like, oh, I have respect for this nigga. Yeah. And we're really, really fucking with him. And I think a big thing with Max too is you have to control the session more. Like when you do it in your house in LA and it's you, artist, and maybe 2 people in the background. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. When you have 15 people, it goes bad. And then we were talking about the UK sessions. Bro, guys, we have to do better. Because in the UK, them niggas was respectable, cool, calm. Every single session for 5 straight days was hits. And you know what came out of that? You just put it out as a project. EP, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on. But like, when you pull up like that on some fuck shit, it's a bad look. And it reflects poorly on you as an artist. More as a person, honestly.
I think you're right. I think studio dynamics are really interesting though. And as somebody that's been in sessions, I'm interested in if you've seen a difference in like R&B sessions versus hip hop sessions.
Yes. I think hip hop sessions, I'm just speaking candidly, hip hop sessions are the worst sessions. I don't really like being in hip hop sessions all the time when it's a bunch of niggas in the room. I don't like it because then it becomes people who don't need to be giving their opinions on shit and be fucking up the music or complain about the environment. Because you know when there's 8 niggas in a room, someone got to be like, where the bitches at? What's happening here? Da da da. Or it's like when your homie is slumped off lean in the corner, it's like, bro, why are you here? You could go home and do this. Yeah. You're taking up space. You're fucking up the vibe. You're fucking up the energy. It's just it's not fun. And then dudes are trying to impress their homies who's not the core audience when it's like you need to be like locked in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or, not for nothing, I do think women should be present in the session. But the right situation, when the music calls for that. And
the right women.
Yes. You know what I mean? Like it has to be a thing. It's a very, studio dynamics are a really difficult thing to get perfect. Because then I have been in sessions where like, there's a woman in there who knows that, oh my God, we're trying to like make a song for the ladies and they be giving their opinion and it'd be trash. And it's like, shut the fuck up, please. Yeah. You don't know anything about what's happening right now and you're gonna come in here speaking loud as fuck with your chest out and it's not gonna sound good. It's just very annoying. That being said, an R&B session, I think R&B sessions are wholly dependent on, when I've been in R&B and pop and alternative sessions, it's more about the writers. I think that if you're going to be in a co-writing session, you have to find someone who's not going to be too overbearing. And I think especially when you're working with a younger artist, I think a lot of writers struggle with the fact that it's not about you. It's not about you getting your song off. It's about bringing the best song out of the artist.
Yeah.
And finding a way to make them feel good about what they're saying. Because if it's not, even if someone else is writing the song or writing with them, it has to feel authentic to the person singing it.
Yeah.
So if a corny nigga or a nerdy nigga or a heartbroken nigga is singing a song about being in the club, getting bitches, that's not real.
Yeah.
And his delivery is going to sound forced, and then it's just going to sound like a copy-paste song. It's not going to be fly. You know what I mean? So you really then have to get like, you got to be careful. I'm a big proponent of like, if you're going to have a female artist, you have to have a woman writer. I like that. I don't really like when guys write for girls. I think girls can write for guys though, which is interesting. But yeah, then there's exceptions. You know, Partisan Fontaine is incredible. Yachty has done it, you know?
Yeah. So with taking what you said about hip hop, because that is kind of what I've seen and heard.
Yeah.
But I haven't really been a part of that many, so I didn't want to generalize. Does that make you, are you more excited and interested in signing an R&B singer then and developing that kind of sound? Does that session vibe play into your future career aspirations and how you want to spend your time?
No, but selfishly, what will make me feel, I thought about this a lot. What will make me feel whole as like a person doing this and pursuing this? I want to develop a female R&B singer.
Yeah.
Just because that is my favorite type of music.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
I feel like I like that the most, but I don't know if those are the sessions that I could contribute to the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being in, I think I'm strongest in a male R&B session.
Yeah.
I think that just like know what to say a little bit better and just like can contribute to the vibe again. Because again, like I do think that also like you have to know when to take a step back, and it's not about you; it's about the artist.
Yeah.
So me giving my opinions on what a woman is trying to say in that story, even while I may have those thoughts, I don't think that's necessary. And I think that a lot of the times me saying something could almost make someone feel belittled. Or like, you know what I mean? Like I'm telling, like, you know?
Oh, that is why I hated doing publicity at a major label and going to shoots with women.
Yeah.
Who am I to tell you that your dress don't look right?
Exactly.
That is the worst job for me.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, get somebody else in here that like you probably respect more than my t-shirt wearing ass about your Givenchy shoot. You know what I mean?
And there's some dudes who could do that.
Yeah.
But Miles Hagen, that's not me.
No.
That's not me.
Yeah.
Bring me in when you're mixing. Bring me in when you're mastering. Maybe bring me in when you have the song.
Yeah.
But when you're creating the song, I don't know if I need to be there all the time. In terms of a rap session, niggas punch in. Niggas don't write.
Yeah.
So it's harder to work in those sessions a little bit. I don't do anything in a rap session most of the time.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm just like sitting there, and like catching a vibe. You know, like if I'm in a rap session for 8 hours, if it's an 8-hour session, I'll be there for the first 2 hours. I think 90% of A&Rs, your job in a session is you were the person who got the producer and the writers and the artist. Make sure everyone gets there. Make sure everyone knows each other's names. Do the handshakes. Smoke a joint. Make sure the vibe is good.
Yeah.
Set the vibe and then let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Once, like, you don't need to, nigga, it's not you. You know what I mean? That's not my bag.
Yeah.
And then if you need someone to kind of oversee the session, I think that's where you get a producer, not a beat maker. Or you get a writer who knows, I think a more adult writer who doesn't have an overbearing personality is good to put in those rooms then.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna, again, sit back, and be fine. Or why, again, I think the Max shit is really cool. And what I've learned is a good engineer, difference maker.
Yeah.
Difference maker. Shout out, gang, Chris Riddick-Tynes. Watching him work, I've never seen it better. I've never, because he'll produce and he coaches them through the recording process.
Yeah.
So he will really be like, sing it like this. And will make, I've seen him make a nigga do one line 20 times.
Yeah.
But then he'll keep 15 of them.
Yeah.
And then after they finish recording, he's comping every single vocal.
Yeah.
And is like building the song out right there. And I've noticed this about R&B sessions. In an R&B session, you're going to walk out the room with maybe one song done in the whole 8 hours, as opposed to maybe doing 3 or 4 in a rap session. But that song is going to sound better, be a full, complete, finished thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it'll be closer to the finished product than anything else.
Yeah.
But that's a rare thing, you know, because not many people have the chops to know how to be like, you need more vibrato here.
Yeah.
Sing it like this, da-da-da, you know.
I think it's important that the person running the controls is able to control. You know, like I do see it being really valuable to have. And that's why, like, I think it's cool in producers and engineer too.
Yes.
When somebody can like make a beat and control the session, because the producer really should be the one calling the shots. Because an artist, like you are like an instrument, just like an instrumentalist. You know what I mean? Like you have a lot of the control in it, but I do think you need someone else to be like, try it like that. That's why there's directors and actors. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are using your voice and your talent, but you need somebody to say, try it again.
Yeah, you're right. 99% of the time.
Yeah.
That's the only sessions that I've personally, that I've experienced. But I do think there's that 1% of artists that like what they say goes. Frank Ocean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
To be able to run the 1s and 2s.
Frank is a hard example because you know that he makes all his music at home. Home studio by himself, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like he don't really be working with a lot of people. You think?
He'll rent out like whole spaces.
Yeah.
Like he's him. I think it's like him, SZA, and like those people. When they go to the studio, it's the same 4 people in the room every time.
Yeah.
It's, I have my producer, my one producer. I have my one writer. I have my one engineer.
And no matter the level of star, I want one of those people to be in there saying, let's do one more for luck.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let's do one more for, that sounded great.
Yes.
Take another one for luck.
Yes. And that comes with time and experience, and you have to build a rapport with those people. And but again, that's not everyone's strong suit, you know? I'm learning, you know? I don't think that that's where I'm at right now. I think that my role and like what I'm good at is signing, relationship building, getting to know you, dap up. Hey man, can you please respond back to this sample clearance email that I just sent you?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the best in the room, in the studio yet.
It'll come.
But I'm, you know, you want to learn that, get better at it, all the shit.
I ask about the hip hop thing just because I've been thinking about that a lot lately as I've been looking for new like day jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was talking to like a smaller company that manages mostly indie rock stuff. You know what I mean? And I was thinking about it and I was like, maybe this is a good fit for me. You know what I mean? Like maybe I don't need to be so focused on the hip hop thing when it seems like it's not as natural to me, and maybe some of my other strengths don't necessarily play as well into it. And B, I think I might enjoy that studio session more.
Yeah, bro.
Personally, you know what I mean? And so I was talking to Jose about it, who had a similar thought about it. He's like, hey, I want to work more Afrobeat.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of timeless shit that's like really like high art, you know? And not saying that hip hop is not that, but it seems like there is a lot less of that. I think the top tier is, but I think there's a lot more bullshit. To be completely honest.
You have to be selective. Like I've admittedly said that like I've taken an approach that is a little bit dangerous in the climate where it's like, I can't be a volume shooter.
Yeah.
I can't sit up here and recommend this new viral street rapper and be like, I want to sign him. He's the best. Because I know the way that I pitch and the way that I talk about this, it is very like, I get passionate and I speak highly of these people. And it's a dangerous game to overpromise and commit because the room trusts you.
Yeah.
When you're pitching these people. And when you do that and you're hyping up this dude and then it becomes like, now you got to work with them and they just don't have that greatness within them. It's like, well, now niggas put money up for this and this is on you. So you got to make this something and then you turn into like, oh, fuck, now I have to make a viral hit.
Yeah.
Now I have to lean more into this and that's not what I want. So if I'm going to go to rap route, I think you do have to be super, super selective or go get a singer.
Yeah.
Or go get someone who can sing, because that is timeless, beautiful shit. But I can't even find. It's hard to find R&B.
Yeah.
It's hard to find moving R&B. I think the alternative. I think the most thriving space right now besides pop is like the Steve Lacy. What is that called?
Indie
alternative, right?
Yeah, I think I would call Steve like Steve is like an indie poster boy.
Yeah,
I call it indie pop, honestly.
Yeah,
I would call that indie pop.
Yeah, I think indie pop is like, if you want to go get something that could really be different, high potential, you probably want to be living in that world for sure. But there's also some really great rap music, and then some of these young kids like are really passionate about this.
Yeah,
the young bulls, because there's some 18, 19-year-old A&Rs, bro, that are like really, really great at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And like really love that. And it's a different approach to the genre, but it's still valid.
Yeah.
And it's feeding their fans, it's doing their thing. That's just not what Miles can do at 25. I don't think that's what you're trying to do, like that's not us.
I want to work with artists. Not artists. I want to work with people. I want to work with musicians. To be honest, that's what I'm learning more. And that's why I want to lean more into the producer-songwriter space.
Yeah.
I care less about like this star being in the room or being attached to this person that everybody knows, and way more about like chord progressions that move me, and like a way that you mix like a guitar and it sounds incredible, and like just hearing that kind of thing on speakers. You know what I mean?
I don't think you want to attach yourself to a star. And I think that's also a big thing in rap.
Yeah.
I think people like to attach. I think there's rappers who, it's easier for a rapper to kind of catch a wave and like really blow up off virality and do that. And then people are attaching themselves to a hot moment. So then it's cool to be in the studio session with so-and-so big rapper right now.
Yeah.
Whereas when you get that person who is a crazy musician, they're still going to be talked about, but maybe in like smaller circles. And then you have to build them up.
Oh yeah.
To get to that. And the dopest thing that talked about that I learned from like someone that I'm working with right now, like on the label side, is like anything you sign now won't break for 2 years.
Yeah.
You can't expect that. Yeah. Nothing you sign today, and like it was in someone in a higher management position. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it was dope to hear that from an executive, to be like, the expectation is not for you to sign someone and make them be on the billboard this year. Yeah. But you have to be taking steps to do that. Mm-hmm. And that was encouraging for me, that it's like, okay, I could really lock in with somebody and start low. And then like, God,
that was one of the coolest things that I got to see happen was Tyla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a year before Water came out and anybody knew who she was being talked about like a priority, and like the priority they knew she was going to become, like helping on that PR campaign and saying, okay, well, she can't really get looks because the music's not there yet, but hey, she's beautiful. And you know what I mean? There. Hey, we can build her fashion presence, and before she has a song that moves at all, we can have her sitting at Dolce & Gabbana next to Kim Kardashian. So when Water eventually, finally, inevitably works, and there's that viral moment, people go and type her name in, and they see that, and the perception of her changes, and the bar is set, and she's no longer just this rising star, but it's somebody that I should have known about. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to see, and that was a year. That was a quick one. Like, that is pretty much, or my experience of being with her. I'm sure it was a way longer process, but like me, like I saw that in a year happen. Yeah. And still, the amount of groundwork and the way they talked about it before it happened just showed that like development is alive, and you need to focus on it.
But look who's behind it. Tricky Stewart.
Yeah.
Bro, Push to Start and Water.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Yeah.
ART. Tricky. You have to get someone who gets it in the room.
Yeah.
You really have to, like, it's not by chance that happened. Mm-hmm. It was work. Mm-hmm. And she put in the work and showed up every day and probably took a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
And got better. And that's why she is where she is today.
Yeah.
Deservingly so. I love our legends in that too. And that's why, again, R&B will never die. Because R&B legend.
Yeah.
Afrobeat, world music. That nigga did Baby for Justin Bieber, bro.
Yeah.
As a fucking GOAT, bro. Shout out Justin too. Black Justin Bieber is back in 2025. Love to see that too.
Yeah.
Wow, we yap for sure. Are we gonna get out?
Don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about Jeff Teague, Brandon Jennings?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Kendrick.
No. Kendrick is a hypocrite. No, I'm kidding. Well, the last thing I want to talk about is, just because we love who, Brandon Jennings at a full 165 pounds soaking wet off a torn Achilles 5 years ago has been talking insane about his entire 2009 draft class, saying he will bust everybody's ass. And the worst mistake of his is that he seems to forgot that Jeff Teague is in this draft class. Jeff Teague is not the type of former hoop nigga who's got fat. Like if you see, do you follow Jeff Teague on Instagram?
No.
Jeff Teague is built.
Yeah.
Jeff Teague is a solid 6'2", 220.
Yeah.
And that nigga hoop often.
Yeah.
I see Brandon Jennings on Gilbert Arenas' podcast and he's drinking most days and smokes a lot of weed. I don't think he's the one you want to come at. And I think it's hilarious how he's called out Jeff Teague and Drew Holiday, who is still in the NBA.
Yeah.
And Jeff was funny when he was talking about it because he's like, one, Brandon, anytime, anywhere, let's get it. It's up. But then he also acknowledged Drew Holiday is not even acknowledging us right now. That nigga is 300 million up and still in the league. Yeah. The rest of us are 100 million and down.
And expected to go back to the NBA finals.
Yeah. So it's not the same, Brandon, but I love the podcast world.
I was going to say, you think you made a mistake?
He didn't make a mistake.
I don't think he made a single mistake because you and me are sitting here talking about Brandon Jennings, bro. And that is a win.
Yes.
For Brandon.
Well, let's not put no disrespect on it.
He's a bucket.
Legend. Not bucket, legend.
Legend?
The first nigga to go overseas out of high school and really make it popping.
Okay, so
55.
Trailblazer.
55 as a rookie.
Trailblazer.
55 as a rookie.
Yeah.
Brandon Jennings is like that. Was the only reason I don't give a fuck that Ray Allen was on the Bucks, whatever. I never even fuck about the Bucks till Brandon Jennings got there with a mohawk.
Yeah, he was nice.
Nigga turned that shit up and probably the coldest fashion hoop nigga ever. That tough crowd brand is crazy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is think about the amount of NBA players we talk about on this podcast.
Yes.
Less than 15.
He's niche. That one I'll admit is niche.
This is a crazy dub for Brandon. And it shows that you really just need to come out here and shoot at people with bravado.
Oh yeah.
And believe what you're saying.
Oh yeah, because now all of the niche hoop, again, sorry, y'all, but this is my favorite topic. Yeah. Because I have not seen Ty Lawson.
Ty Lawson was a crazy name.
Made a video talking about this because he's 2009.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Marcus Thornton. He made a video, bro. But the funny thing about him is because all of these niggas are either in shape, but they walk bad, like Jeff Teague, stoner / alcoholics like Brandon.
Yeah.
Or there's stoner alcoholics who got fat. So like
who falls into that class?
Marcus and Ty Lawson.
Got it.
Got some weight. Raymond Felton, if you remember that name. Double chins. But Marcus does a video in I think he was in a Rolls Royce. Mm-hmm. So I think that it was funny just to see him talking shit and being like, but I'm still up. I got money, nigga. There's stars in this roof. Like, you're not gonna talk to me crazy, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, I may not be on a podcast, but so again, our offer still stands. Best 2-on-2 duo in podcasting right now. Gilly Wallow.
Easy.
Imwell, you could get your best homie to hoop.
Light. Imwell and Tusam.
We seen all the Joe Budden niggas go.
Yeah, I don't even want that game. They don't. Yeah, that's not happening.
Need to know podcast. I know y'all niggas. Y'all niggas look like niggas who cannot even touch a basketball court. I was trying to think who else.
Arshawn could get pause. Arshawn, we will.
I would dunk on Arshawn.
I would play basketball with Arshawn.
I would dunk on Arshawn. There's got to be more podcasts. All you podcast niggas is built terrible too. What, we're gonna have to play Bobby Lee
and Andrew Santino? You want to talk about the white podcast?
You know who can hoop a little bit?
Who?
The racist one, Schultz.
Oh, I believe it.
I've seen some videos.
I believe it.
He can hoop a little bit.
Charlemagne and Schultz. That might be our championship matchup.
Smoke them niggas.
Yeah, I think so.
Smoke them niggas. I think so.
Because
all the niggas. Yo, are we the youngest lit niggas in the podcasting game?
Yeah.
Who else is young?
Nobody's young. Nobody's young.
Yikes. Grandfathers.
Right? Who?
I don't know anyone under the age of
30.
I'm thinking 25 and under podcasters.
No.
Why did we get into this so young?
Normally, I think people feel like they need to have things to talk about to get on these mics, but I think we got enough in the first 22 years of our life.
I was going to say, why were we podcasting at 21? We probably look crazy.
For sure.
What were we talking? Because we have no knowledge to give to anybody.
You tried to do this last pod too. And then we had the most knowledgeable episode of our career.
I don't know if it's knowledge. I think I'm just saying ideas.
No, it's knowledge, bro.
Because but I'm going to change my opinion in a month.
But not about a lot of this stuff.
Not about a lot of this stuff.
And I'm thinking of like, and it's not just for people that want to get into music. I don't think people have that perspective on studios or think about the process of song creation.
This is true.
Most people in the industry don't even, because it's such a select few people that are a part of that. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And the person that doesn't even listen to music probably don't even think about that, but probably thinks it's mad interesting.
Facts.
And me, well, I could tell you about the beef jerky.
Oh my God. Yeah. What was that? Oh my God.
I could say that's the value I could add.
What is that?
Today for dinner, nabbed myself a family-sized bag of hot and sweet beef jerky. Really delicious. Yeah. Thought I'd eat half of it, eat the other half later. Because I did the math. I'm like, oh, that's 1,200 calories in this bag? No, ate the whole thing in like 20 minutes. Yeah. Love beef jerky. Yeah. Going for my run today. You know what I mean? And this is already off like 4 days, no running and eating like shit.
Yeah.
And so I already knew this was going to be like, a cleansing run, like get it all out, reset. I did not expect after 2.5 miles to be the closest to shitting myself I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you understand. I got to a point where I stopped running, and in my head, I stopped thinking about how I was going to find a bathroom and just started thinking about how I was going to go about shitting myself. Like, I fully accepted that. I was like, this is happening, and it's happening in the next minute. So am I going to go shit in someone's yard? Am I going to just shit in my own pants?
Imagine opening your front blinds to a spin salon just drenched in sweat.
Yeah, drenched.
Shitting in your front yard.
I was like, am I going to sacrifice my shirt and make like a human doggy bag? What am I going to do? You know what I mean? And as this shit is like preparing to leave my body, I turn a corner, unlocked porta potty on the side of the road. That's not frequent in LA.
That's also the dirtiest thing.
I could give less of a fuck.
There was no McDonald's?
I could give less of a fuck. No McDonald's. I'm in the neighborhoods. And this is like not like a public porta potty. This is like construction's being done.
Yes.
So we're gonna set one up. Well, God is real.
Yeah.
God is real that it didn't have a padlock on it. Because you'll see those in a blue moon, but they'll always be locked up. I've never seen one that's unlocked. Wow, that was the best thing that could have happened. Shit in the porta potty, ran home.
Thank y'all for watching, man. This has been another great episode of the Stereo Vision Podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend.
Mm-hmm.
We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.